Good morning, yarn tubers. Welcome back to Wanderlust Crochet with Dana and Benji, who you can't see. Getting ready to roll. Let's see. We're going from Reading to Lodi today. Then I'm going to get paid to sit. I don't like doing that. But I'll work on my last 3 squares.
Please drive to highlighted route.
I just need to do 3 more squares for the square swap. And somewhere I'll Uber to a post office. Good morning, staff. How are you? I'll Uber to a post office and get those mailed out. Good morning. What are you working on? I was just talking to Robin, and guess who just placed her first Cascade yarn order? Me. I need yarn for the seasonal Yarny YouTube hop here on YouTube. One for the first day of summer and one for the first day of fall. To be revealed later. This was my spring Yarny YouTube hop project. I really like it. Hosted by Kim, the Crafty Nomad. I love Kim. What is everybody working on? I'm excited because I'm getting some Cascade yarn in the mail. Amigurumi for hooker versus hooker. I'm not doing that. Next year, I want to do the stuff that everybody else is doing, because I miss out on all that stuff. Because I got all my own things going on, and I get too much going on. I'm low carb too. I got bacon. I got half-inch thick bacon going on this morning. I'm no carb when I'm not cheating. Yesterday was a cheat day. I have trouble when I go home. I don't beat myself up too much about it. Hi, Ellie. Oh, Tunisian's awesome. Are you following Tony from TL Yarn Crafts? She has a great set of Tunisian tutorials in a playlist. A lot of people do. They have really good Tunisian tutorials out there. Oh, cool. Cool, Steph. Cool. I ordered yarn for Robin's crochet along that starts May 5th. Oh, are you following? Yeah, I love Tony. In fact, this was made out of her Happy Place yarn, if you didn't know already. A lot of people already know, but I took 3 colors of Happy Place yarn and made this. Very happy with how that turned out. Very happy. So I'm finishing up my squares for the square swap. And then, then I'm going to be editing. I've got my test. The test is done. I'm going to be editing the document for the Noah scarf and having the testers get final eyeballs on that, getting their pictures and their quotes on there. And then I'll be converting it to a PDF, and it'll be a free download off of Google Docs and on Ravelry. So, for those who don't like Ravelry, I get it. I'm of the idea that, you know, I'm going to pick my battles. Ravelry is not my fight. And I get a lot of good stuff out of Ravelry, so I use it. I may not agree with the owners on a few points, but what I do agree with is their right to do whatever they want with their own company. So I'm sitting at a truck stop in Redding, California. And I'm only going to Lodi because I don't deliver. I deliver at 8 a.m. tomorrow in Stockton. So I'm going to stage at Lodi and leave in the morning. Lodi is right up the road from Stockton. I'm just, I already did my pre-trip. I just aired out my trailer. I usually don't pull the valve on the trailer. For those, this might be something that needs explained, but there are two valves here on the dash. One of them is for the trailer, is for the truck. The yellow one's for the truck. Good morning, Thrifty. I'm still with Market. Oh my goodness. So the yellow one is for the truck, the red one's for the trailer. Those are air lines that are hooked up in the back. So when I pull the valve, it lets the air out of the system, and air is what holds brakes apart. You pull the valve and get rid of the air. There's no air pushing those brakes apart, so now they're closed. Normally, and this is supposed to be a good habit that is not being taught anymore, you don't pull the trailer brake unless you are in a situation where you need the trailer brake too. You just let the tractor brakes hold you in place. Leave the air to the trailer because for a couple of reasons. One is if it's freezing outside, you usually have moisture in those lines and you don't want that moisture to freeze. So you leave the air to those lines, keeps them from freezing. Now, yes, we're in summertime. The other reason is, and I have perforated eardrums right now, because when you pull one valve, they both pop, unless you hold one in. You hold like I hold the trailer valve in and I pull the tractor valve so that the trailer brakes are not engaged. When I'm standing in the fuel island, or any driver is standing in the fuel island, and I grab one and they both pop, that is loud and it perforates eardrums. But some are not being taught not to do that. Others are just lazy. So, yeah. Anyway, that's that whole thing on air brakes. It's just if you're ever in a vehicle that uses air brakes, make it a habit not to pull your trailer brake. Oh, thank you, Thrifty. Yeah, I've been a trucker for over 6 years now. Good morning, Miss Southern Belle. Good morning. There are things I love about it and there are things I hate about it. I love waking up in a different place every day. I love, delivering loads. Shut off those lights. I need to refresh my coffee before we roll. Got in a fight with another driver yesterday at the shipper. His only defense was, "You're old." Yeah, and I've been doing this longer than you, Sonny. Yes, Robin, believe it or not, I'm a truck driver. I'm a crocheting truck driver. Guess what this is? I was just talking about placing my first order of Cascade yarns with you so that I can do a couple more seasonal Yarny YouTube pops this year. My goal is to have all 4 done this year. Here's the first one, the spring version. When is the first day of summer, you guys? And don't forget to type RPS in the comments so that you can play rock, paper, scissors with Niles. Okay, I gotta fix my coffee. Let me do this DVIR real quick. That's not what I meant to do. DVIR, there we go. that later. June 21st is your birthday. Cool. Okay, so I have until June 21st to get the first one done. So Robin, please get that shipped. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because you know how long it takes me to do stuff. That's what I need the nifty cotton for. I need to have that sucker done by June 21st and a video done. Not just done, but a video uploaded. Okay, so we got that done. Now I'm going back to the HOS. Okay, hours of service. I'm gonna fix my coffee real quick and then we'll roll. Hey mister, how you doing, buddy? He is so sweet and so smart, you guys. He blows my mind. He is so wonderful. You, I need it before then. I need it now! Look at her giving me heart palpitations. Look what she's doing to me. Hi, Amy. I'm going to stop at Lodi here in a little bit. I'm going to be done at Lodi for the day. And then tomorrow morning I leave early. And I'm only up in Reading. So a quick 3-hour drive to Lodi. Yeah, baby. I'm home or post office? Home. Oregon City. Oregon City. Who knows when I'll get to the P.O. box. I know I've got at least one more postcard in there. So we got to talk about postcards, you guys. I need you to challenge me. I'm getting a few. I'm getting some. And I love what I've gotten so far. Thank you, Joyce. But I need more postcards. More challenge. You guys need to challenge me on design. So, 3 things that have to go on the postcard. 1 is your favorite yarn to work with. 2, a favorite project you like to make with that yarn. And 3, yeah, thank you, Amy. And 3, like a search term. What do you want me to search for to see exactly what you're talking about? And I will start shouting those out after the next time I go to the P.O. box. But I need some postcards, people, so that you can challenge me. And then in January, I will draw one. I might draw more than one. Okay, Ellie. I might draw more than one and design something in your name, because I'm becoming a designer. I would not say I'm a designer. I am working, I am learning, I am going through the process of learning all of that. So some people just wing it and do their own thing and call themselves a designer. That's totally fine with me. No judgments here. I want to go through, I want to know all the technical stuff. I want to know all the things. I want to know all the things. Oh, that tastes weird because it doesn't have everything in it. Hey, I forgot to put my stuff in it. Let's put a chocolate. Let's do chocolate this time. Salted chocolate. Reminds me of South Park. Okay. I'll admit I have watched a handful of South Park over the years. I am not an avid South Park watcher because it's like a train wreck. It's pretty awful. But I do know a few South Park jokes. Oh, I forgot to throw that away. I'll do that in Lodi. Okay. Oh, cool. Cool, Sherry. Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. Chocolate is important. It's sweetened with stevia, so it doesn't, bump my what's that stuff? Insulin. So my insulin doesn't bump. I like to eat and drink stuff that doesn't bump my, insulin. I am not pre-diabetic. I do not have hyperinsulinism, but insulin's the key to weight loss, and I've been I gotten a little chunky lately, so pretty dang chunky. So time to work on that. Okay, time to go, you guys. I gotta put this in my ear because the ball and chain is probably gonna call, excuse me, while we're live. He's always interrupting. Okay, I'm gonna turn you guys around. Make sure you're right where you're supposed to be. Make sure that's tight. Okay, everybody settle in now. Wear your seatbelts. Buckle up, helmets on. That is right. Yes, you can make fun of me. Have a little party while I'm on the phone with him. Okay, seatbelt. Gotta put on my seatbelt. Here we go now. Well, Marion's not here to drive. Who's going to drive? Benji can't reach the pedals yet. Oh yeah, let's name those bugs. Let's name them. Gotta be able to see you guys. Okay, let's name them. So, yeah. Okay, let's see. I was just sitting here eating vinegar. Confetti. Buckle up, you guys. Okay, who's going to drive? Who's volunteering to drive? Good morning, Denny. Will you drive? Somebody's going to drive. Benji's legs are too short. Splat. Okay. First is the roll test. Wheels are moving. Next is the tug test. Okay, Denny. Works for me. I'll take any volunteer I can get. Oh, I should probably plug you guys in. So you don't die on me. Don't die on me. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go now. Here we go now. Okay. I can't see if anybody's coming to my right. I'm just at the wrong angle and my hood mirror doesn't. I need to fix my hood mirror so I can see better. Holy cow, that's bright. Okay. Okay. I'll get out of your way, dude. Sorry. I didn't see you coming. I couldn't see a thing. Okay. I saw part of that. I can't read. Okay, Robin's heading out to the yarn bus. Boy, this place is packed. I wonder if there's something I'm missing. Was there a big accident somewhere? Matterhorn.
Turn left at the traffic light.
The Matterhorn, the first time I went to Disneyland, which I love Disneyland. Yeah, shut up, Niles. The Matterhorn was one of my favorite rides. Loved it. Okay, go for it, Martin. Boy, this place is packed for some reason. It's almost like there's something I'm missing. Okay, come on, big guy. He's got an oversized. I'll let him go first. Let him do what he's got to do. Go ahead, flatbed. Okay, my turn. Get a little air in here. Oh, my shoulder hurts. Okay, Martin, you're kind of in the way. That is not a pocket spot. Now I've got to try to get around the hood of this guy's truck. Okay, we made it. Oh, air. Okay, I'll roll that up. That's got to be loud. So I have a story to tell you guys. I got a story to tell you guys. You guys ready for a story? A YouTube story? I don't know how many years ago it was. I think it was during COVID that I started the Christmas and July fairies, which was fun. That was fun. Okay, I'm gonna let this person go who's coming in the wrong way. I had so much fun. I don't know, but it needs a gallon. It needs a couple gallons. It's low, probably at least a gallon right now. Anyway, so here's the story. I'm going to try to get through it. I had so much fun doing that. Wasn't that fun, Denny? I mean, it has absolutely ran its course, and it probably ran its course before I quit. This will be the first year I'm not doing it. It has run its course. It was so much fun. Okay, so here's the great things that happened is I met all of you, I would say most of you, through that. And, okay, head on a swivel. Here we go. Anyway, I met so many more viewers, and I made great connections with so many other content creators. It was amazing, and I would not change a thing. I loved the way it went. I loved that whole thing, and that was fun. It has definitely run its course, and I'm not doing it again this year. The shine has been knocked off of it, let's say, which is absolutely fine. I want to move on to other things anyway. Oh, thank you, Denny. I want to move on to, other things. I don't want to make that something I have to do every year. Anyway, so moving on, from Christmas and July fairies. Let me tell you what else happened. I got a tiny, tiny, tiny micro taste of popularity on YouTube. I got a tiny, tiny taste of that. And what I found was that, you start to get a feel for who's sincere and who's just there, who makes contact with you and jumps on your surfboard with you just to use you. That happens a lot. That happens a lot. And it is real easy to get to a point where, okay, Joyce, where you're very jaded, where you think everybody's just there to take advantage of you. And I really fought that. I fought that because you really got to get a feel for who's genuine and who isn't. And like all of you are genuine, that's for sure. And I also knew through that whole wave was that wave was going to crash. That this was not, I wasn't going to ride that popularity for the rest of my YouTube career. Something else might come along and something else might not. It might not. If you look at my channel, you'll see that I have, 4,300 subscribers now. I would say less than 1,000 are the true viewers. So those numbers are Yes, absolutely, Sherry. So you got to be, you got to be a little wise. I know that when I have contacted some of the truly popular channels, the truly popular people, like not just riding a temporary wave like I was, I was either treated like a human being or I was treated like pond scum. And my intentions were always sincere, those who treated me like dirt, these very, very popular channels, I don't hold that against them, because I am sure there are a lot of people contacting them who just want to use them. I just wanted to give this little, cautionary tale that, if somebody very, very popular doesn't treat you well, it might be because they've dealt with something like this. Thankfully, people like, I'm going to suggest Selena Baca, she is a true professional. And she's had to correct me a couple of times, because I am not in her position, so I don't know exactly what it's like to be in her position. I do know that I got a tiny little taste of popularity for a second over the Christmas and July thing, but like I said, that was temporary. I knew that was temporary. I did not experience everything that people like Selena have had to experience. But thankfully, she is a very gracious example that we can follow. And she's just one of them that are very gracious. Some, I think they get jaded. Like I said, I can think of 2 right now that I've contacted who just talked to me like I was a piece of crap. And I felt a little silly afterwards, because somehow I did not present myself as someone who is sincere. That somehow I probably presented myself as someone who was just trying to take advantage. So, I just want to tell you that, people who are super popular in the crochet world, in the YouTube world, if they don't treat you very graciously, they probably haven't learned that art, as Selena has. Selena is very, very skilled at treating people graciously. Hi, Spring. So anyway, it's just a little cautionary tale. I don't have that popularity anymore. I don't have that spotlight that was on me for a second. And I mean just a second. Thankfully. Thankfully. I mean, that was hard. Although, like I said, so many great things came out of that collaboration. And there are little nuances that I noticed that I have learned from the professionals. Like, you don't go into somebody's chat, and I did this in the beginning a lot. You don't go into somebody's chat to promote yourself, I mean, everybody should be chatting and having a great time with each other, right? I'm not gonna say you're not allowed to talk about yourselves. You can, absolutely. But you can also, you start to get a feel for those who are just coming in to hijack the chat and turn the spotlight on themselves completely. It's called hijacking the chat, and it's bad form. it's not a good idea. What else goes on? What else goes on? And I don't want to make this a bashing session. Yeah, no drop your link all the time. Yes. I don't want to make this a bashing session because, like I said, oh, it is such a thing. People have, I see people go into other chats to promote their own thing on somebody else's live. Yeah. That is a delicate dance. It really is. And I have misstepped before. And I'm not saying that I'm so wise now that I wouldn't misstep today. There was a situation recently where a pretty popular person thought that I and another friend were trying to take advantage of them. And let me tell you, like when I called those other larger channels, a year or so ago, and they thought that I was I was one of those people that was just trying to take advantage of them. It felt like a gut punch. It felt like a gut punch. It gets to where people are only there just to. My priority is to chat with you guys. Just connect with the viewers. That is my priority, not to build my numbers, build my channel. I mean, all of that is fun. All of that is very fun. I'm not saying that isn't fun, but I feel like a lot of people get on here and they do a lot of e-begging when it comes to building their channel. I prefer to connect with you guys. But back to the original story, yeah, we can be accused of trying to take advantage of someone who's more popular on YouTube. Thank you. And when you're truly sincere, like there are times when, like I've done that thing where I've gone on to someone more popular's channel and I just started screaming to the rooftop about what I had going on. And I didn't get my hand slapped, but as soon as I did it, I could see kind of what was going on. I could see the reaction of the person who was doing the live, and I felt guilty. I felt horrible. I'm like, you know what? That wasn't a good idea, Dana. It doesn't reflect well on me, and it's not respectful to the person who's doing the live. That just looks spammy and creepy. And there are times, when I have been that creepy person that is just trying to, suck the air out of the room and feed off of somebody else, and I have felt absolutely guilty because I was. And then there are other times when I was treated like someone who was doing that when I really wasn't. I was sincere, and that's a different kind of feeling, that gut punch. Absolute Spring, and we want to know what everybody's doing. There's a fine line. There's a little dance. If you feel open to that, like Spring, what is your latest thing? Please tell us, because I want to know, because I don't always get over to your channel. As much as I love you, sometimes we get wrapped up in our own stuff. We get so busy. No? I do want to know. And there's such a dance. There's such a fine line. I run in and I get excited, about spreading the word about something. But if you have to wait, if it feels open. That's wonderful until it starts sounding like e-begging. And my priority, like I said, it is the viewers. And I love my fellow content creators. I do. A fillet wrap, oh my goodness. See, I love fillet wraps. Okay, that guy's doing that. Okay. Yes, Spring, I want to hear what you're doing. I want Robin to tell us in the chat about her new yarn store. I want Robin to tell us about her crochet along and how it's a make along. There's a crochet version of hers. There's a knit version from Cheryl Wall, and they're doing it together. That starts May 5th. Spring, I want to hear about your filet wrap. It's like when people come running into the room and like, everybody pay attention to me. They haven't even interacted with anybody. When they come in, you guys don't do that. Is it? Is it knit or crochet? Of course you are worthy. Absolutely. And knowing Spring, a very clear pattern and tutorial. Oh, see, let me tell you, I'm all about filet wraps. Ugh. What kind of yarn did you use, Spring? I know that I'm just ordering some Cascade yarn, that Anthem DK. I am headed to Lodi. I just left Reading and I'm headed to Lodi. Short day today, so I'm going to be working on my squares. Robin's doing a crochet along using that Anthem DK from Cascade, and I'm placing an order with her. For the yarn, so that I can do it. Premier Wool Select DK. See, I have really gotten into the DKs. Robin seems to be into the DKs. I'm not going down it. Okay, so when Robin called me this morning, I was down the Cascade Yarn rabbit hole. Oh, the LEDs, I hate them. Well, I hate all oncoming lights after dark because the glare blinds me. I cannot drive at night, and I hate LEDs. Period. I hate what they do. The light signaling that hits our brains. Good morning, Tammy. Brains. Good morning, Tammy. Thank you. Thank you. I'm in, so that's a whole nother subject. That's why I wear blue blockers when I first get up and before I go to bed at night. Because of the light signaling, and LEDs are terrible. Incandescents are much better. It's not perfect. Nothing beats direct sunlight, but blue light toxicity and screen addiction are a big thing that is being shown in studies to be, it's like the disease of the 21st century. We're going to Lodi. The effects of living in the 21st century, we got LEDs, and we got blue light from screens, all kinds of screens all around us all the time. We have wireless signals emitting radiation. I know it sounds like I should be wearing a tinfoil hat. Which, by the way, I do have a video of me wearing a tinfoil hat. We'll be stuck again in Lodi. Which is only, well, it's less than 3 hours away. Never seen it. I've never seen that movie. I do have a video of me wearing a tinfoil hat. And Laura, she's got a video called The Crochet Wars where she shows me wearing that tinfoil hat. Oh yeah, I'll probably be headed that way tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know if I'm headed that way tomorrow or if I'm headed back up to Portland. You have a tinfoil hat? Mine has horns. Mine has like Viking horns. I worked very hard and a whole roll of tinfoil on that. That was back in the day. Where Laura and I were in a race to finish, I think the Phoenix. I don't know if it was the Phoenix or the Ardith. I don't remember which one it was. Yes, it had horns on it. Yes. Had like a skull cap. It was skull cap shaped with horns. Yeah. And I stand by everything I said in that video. Yeah, thank you. Hopefully, Robin has drop shipped some yarn to me so that I can make something. Hopefully, I'll be headed that direction and I can grab it. I should have had her ship it to Portland, but that's okay. I'll run home and grab it if I have a minute. Because I want to play with that yarn after I get the squares done. So here I was all excited this morning. I sent her a text saying I want to buy this and this, and I'll do Venmo or whatever you want. My truck has been running great. She likes me. That's another story. As soon as I finish this one. And I thought, I'm going to be the first one to place an order. Oh no. Oh no. I got beat out by Linda. Oh, but I ordered some nifty cotton and I ordered some Anthem DK, and I'm very excited to get my hands on that. And I know there's some waiting for me. Okay, so the truck, so the second time I quit this company back in December, you know, I cleaned out the truck, turned it in, and they put a team in this truck. And as I understand the story, I don't know how accurate it is, they got as far as Grants Pass, Oregon from Portland, which isn't very far, and she bucked them off. She said, I'm not going another inch till you get out. You get out. You get out. Honey, I lost my husband December 18th, 2011 in Afghanistan. Linda got a prize. She beat me. She beat me. My husband wanted to get out of working overseas. He was a Navy dog handler, sonar tech, and after 2 tours with the Navy, he became an overseas contractor using those skills, and I lost him a week before Christmas in 2011 in Afghanistan. So, but he was talking a lot about coming back to the States and driving truck for a living, which scared the crap out of me. I thought, oh, I'm going to lose him. He's going to be driving in some windy ice storm whiteout in Wyoming, and I will never see him again. And then I lost him to the job he had. But now I feel like I'm fulfilling his dream. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, it does suck, but and I miss that man. I do, and I have not dated or anything since then, and I don't plan on it. but I'm okay. I am okay, and one of the reasons I'm okay, besides my faith, is that I became a truck driver. And then I picked up crochet. Well, I picked up crocheting again first, and then I became a truck driver. I lost about 140, 160 pounds, and all these things have kind of contributed to me being okay today. I am good. I'm good to go. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I absolutely have, you guys. I love this. And then after I started driving, crocheting, I lost the weight, got to crocheting, driving truck, and then I met all of you. And I mean, I loved you guys before the, Christmas and July fairies thing. And then after, I got to meet so many more that were truly sincere. Like, Robin and Spring and Denny and all of you guys, Amy, all of you who are constantly coming in to, yeah, I'm okay, you're okay, we're all okay. Yes, you do, especially Spring. And Stephanie, she's always in here hanging out the window waving at the DOT guys. No seatbelt. She's a troublemaker. Her and Spring are troublemakers. Robin just makes fun of me. That's okay. Those connections came out of YouTube, and I love being a part of YouTube. I really do. There are a few negatives. When you do, even though I only gained a spotlight for like a half a second through that whole Christmas and July fairies thing, it put a huge target on my back by a handful of YouTubers. But if that's how they fill their souls, okay, whatever. And then you got those that are just trying to take advantage, and there have been times that I have actually been guilty of that, and there have been times when I've been accused of that when it felt like a gut punch. It's been wonderful, hasn't it, Robin? I mean, we have made such great connections. The Yarny Social was developed out of, comes out of YouTube. All of, the creativity, the collaborations, all of that stuff, the giveaways, all that stuff is so great coming out of YouTube. I can't imagine just doing like Instagram reels and Facebook videos. I just can't see the attraction to those other platforms. Yes, you do. We'll be waving at Amy here pretty quick when we get down here. It's about another 100 miles down. We'll be waving at Amy. And Robin, I get so excited for her sometimes. Like, thank you. I appreciate that. Good morning, Ellen. There's another one of our great viewers. I mean, you viewers are what make YouTube stand. You viewers are it. Ellen Square for group 1. I've got that in my tote in the back at some point. I've kind of slacked on doing my music shorts and weekly videos. I know, exactly. Roaming with Rover, she was talking about this in her live the other day about how she got started, and that was going down the road in a motorhome with the dogs. And of course, I didn't catch on to her until after the whole crocheting thing started, but she was still in the motorhome, working in the oil fields. Grandbaby's nursery. Yeah. Good drivers, yes. Well, let's get over. One particular viewer decided they wanted to throw darts at me. Oh, was this 2 years ago? I don't remember when this was. And they called my company and said, look, she's interacting with the chat. And they tried to get me in trouble. It didn't work, but they let me know that somebody was trying to get me in trouble. I know who it is. Okay. 4 days a week. Oh, regular the 5th day. Okay. Yes, they wouldn't be where they are because of the viewers. That's exactly right. That is exactly right. They do, and it's what we used to call having, you know, like if everybody wore a bucket around their belly, some of them have a hole in their bucket, so they're constantly trying to dip out of other people's buckets. Yeah, that person has a hole in their bucket. Yeah, what day you're on? I have to write, so I keep a dry erase, big fat dry erase pen close by up here. And every morning, or I change it in the evening, but every day up on the upper left hand corner of my windshield, I've got today's date, 4/18, and then TH for Thursday, and then I write the trailer number right underneath that, because even though sometimes I can see the trailer number by looking in the rear view mirror, if I go and swap trailers somewhere and then I go to write down what trailer I dropped, or I send in the information what trailer I dropped and what trailer I have now, I forget the trailer number. So I have the date, the day of the week, and the trailer number written in the upper left hand corner of my windshield. And then on the driver's side window, if I think of something, like yesterday there were 3 things I wanted to say in Rad Girls, so just as I was going down the road, I reached over and wrote those 3 reminders on the driver's side window. It's almost, you can't even read it half the time. I know what I was writing just by looking at the first letters of every word. I can tell what I was writing, but nobody else could decipher that shorthand. Yeah, so I keep that right in front of me because I forget what day it is. So hopefully I'm headed back up and I can Uber back out to the house and grab that yarn, that Cascade yarn, and I can get back on the truck and start working on that as soon as I'm done with the squares. I have to keep reminding myself, what is the _1 priority right now? It's those last 3 squares that need to be started, complete, blocked, packaged up the way I package them with my Stampin' Up paper and stitch markers. I'll have to take a picture of that, how I'm doing that. Put them in the envelopes, address all the envelopes, and Uber to the nearest post office and get those mailed out before the 1st. Ooh, I'm coming right down to the line. Web names, do it! Yes! I like Bigfoot fibers. I like how that rolls off the lips. I like how short it is. Because Sasquatch Yarns doesn't roll, even though I like the name Sasquatch. But Bigfoot fibers, I like that one. So we're talking about web names, website names for Robin's little yarn part of the store, little yarn store. Yes, let's talk about this. Let's talk about, we need suggestions. Okay, so she needs to come up with a good name for the yarn store part of the store. I love Bigfoot fibers. Okay, you know, it kind of reminds me of hedgehog fibers, right? Rockin' Robin, she doesn't want to use her name because it isn't actually hers. Okay, so most of the names that include the word fiber or fibers are taken as far as domain names go. So she's looking for something that rolls off the tongue, easy to spell, you know, that you can easily type out when you're looking for. I think of the logo possibilities. Nice one, Joyce. Northwest Fiber Arts. So NW Fiber Arts would be a really good. That is good and short. Being that you're in Washington State, yes. Bigfoot Fibers, because she is featuring Cascade yarns. Yes, she'll have others eventually, but yes, the Cascades are pretty famous for the whole Bigfoot Sasquatch thing. Bigfoot Fibers sounds great, and Robin's yes, it's geographically perfect. Artfully Yarn. Oh, I do like Artfully Yarn, or Artful Yarn. I like Artfully. Artfully Yarn. I do like Artfully Yarn. BFF. Oh, for a name, you know, BFF. Oh, some play around with BFF would be good. I do like Artfully Yarn. Okay. But which one do you think would be easier to remember? I do like that. Artfully Yarns. Bigfoot Fibers. Artfully Yarns. Bigfoot Fibers. See, and Robin's got to make a decision here pretty quick. Do you guys have any? I do like, you could do a play on BFF. BFF Yarns. Or BFF, meaning Best Friends Fibers. Bigfoot Fiber. Oh, Bigfoot Fiber, and that acronym is BFF. Ooh, okay. Okay, so you could do some plays on that too. And she has to do searches for, you know, copyright. Artfully uses the shop name. Yes, see, and that's why I like that. Bigfoot Fibers, aka Best Friends. Yes, yes. Okay, I see what you're saying. I like the idea of using the name of the shop because the shop's name is Art. But I like this play on BFF, Bigfoot Fibers. You know, which one is easier to say? Which one is easier to remember and type out when you want to buy yarn from Robin's yarn shop? So, you know, those are things to think about. And like I'll repeat the story from, oh, she also has to do a copyright search, which that's easy. You just go to the government website and type in your search term, and there you go. You'll get what's close. You'll get, you know, some variations of what you typed in. Thinking of Friends, I think BFF. See, and I like that too. I like that play on that. Oh, my shoulder hurts. I'm going to watch some videos today on how to prevent any more bursitis going on here in my shoulder. Stretches, massage. Oh. Bigfoot is not copyrighted. Good. There we go. Especially at 3 a.m. when you're going down a rabbit hole yarn shopping. Yes, Amy. Does anybody have any other ideas? and I'll talk about, this is what I started to say, you know, this is what I talked about on Robin's Live the other day. Many years ago, like 2009-ish, somewhere in there, I got on to Dr. Goo and I started researching what are the best business names. Maybe Artfully for the whole shop, and well, the whole shop is already named. The whole shop is already there, and it's called Art. Bigfoot Barbers for the BFF may split off at some point or do a separate show. Oh, okay. See, and all of these are great. They're thinking all the way around this. So anyway, I got on Dr. Goo and it took me about a week of just sitting there for hours, you know, reading, you know, these research reports and marketing articles and all this kind of stuff. And the number one and number two business names in the world at that time were Roomba was number one and Virgin was number two. Roomba hit all the check marks because it was a made-up name. It was easy to spell. It was fun to say. And everybody knows that to this day what a Roomba is. Well, I shouldn't say it. Not everybody knows, but I would say all of you probably know what a Roomba is. And then Virgin, it was like Virgin Airlines or Virgin, you know, cell phones back then. Cell phone service back then was a thing. I don't know if it still is, but and the reason why Virgin it was because it's one word and because it was suggestive. So those are the only two I can remember. There were a whole handful that I wrote down, and it's like I knew that the name of my business was not going to be perfect. It was not going to hit all those check marks, but it had to be relevant to what I did, and it had to be relevant to the area that I serviced. I had a horse training business, and I had a partner named Dan. So we did a play on the word dandy, which is spelled D-A-N-D-Y, and I put D-A-N-D, equine services. And then I acquired a handful of domain names that were available. I took them. I paid for them. They were cheap. I mean, they were cheap. And, you know, all the different spellings and all the different ways that I could think of that, you know, were relevant to what our website was going to be named. And I guess if I look it up, I still own those. Those are for sale. Let's just say those are for sale. I'm not hanging on to those, but I don't think anybody else wants it. I don't think there's a demand for dandy equine. So those are the things that, you know, what are things that are going through Robin's mind is what is cute, what is catchy, what will kind of hang on in your mind as the name of the website for the yarn. You know, what kind of checks off a lot of those boxes. Isn't it fun? We kind of live vicariously through Robin, going through all this. Yes, yeah, we want people to be able to find her online. So, you know, there's going to be a lot of marketing involved. And that's why the owner has employed a social media expert to work with Robin. So Robin's the manager. She is running this thing. The owner has given her the reins to run with it. I know, it's exciting. Robin's opening a yarn store, you guys. How fun is that? And we get to join her in this process. So, does anybody have any other ideas? because she is planning on bringing in some ice yarns. Bigfoot does it for me, but as discussed, I'm not even near normal of average. Do you guys think you would automatically assume that yarn? That's a good question. When I think of the name Bigfoot Fibers, do I think of, if I was looking for other like add-ons like a yarn bowl and notions, you know, stitch markers and yarn needles, I would go check it out, or even Artfully Yarns. I would go check it out to see. I would take a look and see, well, do they have this other stuff I'm looking for? Because maybe I'm looking for a wool genie. Do they have wool genies there? Bags and bowls and cups, yes. Yeah, they usually do. Try for a niche. They will. Oh, see, now I'm excited. See, and when I did my wool genie review, was it 2 years ago? I don't know when it was. It was in the past. It's part of history now. One of our viewers, her name escapes me now. She used to live in Idaho. But anyway, she went on, she clicked on my affiliate link in the description box to bring up the wool genie, and she thought, that is too expensive. So she went and found it online. She found a little, small business owner, I think in New York State or somewhere over there in the Northeast, that was selling them. Even with shipping, it was a little bit cheaper than what she could have paid on Amazon. And, she supported a small business. I was absolutely all for that. Yes, okay, so that's going to make her different, is having ice yarn available. Because Gia the Yarn Nut, she has shown that it can be done. Well, it could also be a tagline, fiber art supplies. The what? I don't know what that is. I do, if I'm buying yarn, let's say at Love Crafts, and I need another Clover SoftTouch 4.5 millimeter hook, my favorite hook, I am going to, if I'm already on their site and I know I need another one of those hooks, I'm going to go around, I'm going to look and see if they got it, which I have done. I've done that many times. It's like, oh, I want to have an extra one of these hooks. Look at that. Look at spring, Robin. So many spammy calls. I'm getting so many spammy phone calls lately. Yeah, not answering that. So, yeah, spring. I would think, just off the top of my head, Robin might have some other ideas, but just, until the website is up and running, Even furls has that. Yeah, so yes, furls. If I'm buying something on furls and I think of something else I need, you know, I'm going to go search. If I'm already on that site, I'm going to go searching for those things. I would just mention there are some great Cascade yarns that are available from Robin over at Roaming with Rover on YouTube. And then when she gets the link, you know, when she gets the website, when it goes live, I know that I'll be linking it in my description box. I have also, like this morning, Spring, I was late getting on the road because before Robin called me and got me out of the rabbit hole, I was down the Cascade Yarn rabbit hole. I was watching her video, rewinding it to see if she had the colors I needed for the yarn that I wanted to buy, and I sent her an order for, okay, is it Spiffy Cotton? Nifty Cotton. Nifty Cotton and Anthem DK. And so I'll be doing an unboxing of that. I'll be showing, you know, the yarn that I bought when I get it. Within a month. Okay. Okay, that's exciting. That is so exciting. Fibercraft Abyss. I like that. Fibercraft Abyss. You could call it the fiber rabbit hole. For some, yes, but I like the vision that comes to mind when you say it. So Bobby, that brings up to me, that brings up rabbit hole yarn. The rabbit hole fiber shop. I like Bobby, that what that does is it creativity it gets my juices going. It gets me thinking about that whole concept of when we get lost in the rabbit hole, when we get yarn chicken no more. Yarn chicken no more. Yeah, I love what that conjures up and gives us more, you know, I think that inspires us to think even further going down that line. Oasis? Ooh, Oasis? The rabbit hole yarn oasis. So I see the train of thought that everybody's going down now because you used the word abyss. I see, and that's where this creativity. We are all creative people. We're crocheters. We pick out colors and put them together, and we learn how to create beautiful things. Abyss is good, very memorable, but maybe a spelling challenge for some. Yes. Yeah. I was trying to think of something about us building our yarn collection. Oh, the rabbit hole yarn stash, something along those lines. Rabbit hole yarns. All great ideas, great starting points to, you know, get those ideas flowing. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I was using autocorrect to spell it. Yeah, exactly. Rabbit hole, I think, is better, simpler to spell, and we all know what it is. Better than abyss, better than Bigfoot, better than artfully. No. There's a lot of home decor. There's you know, bath and body stuff. There's craft supplies, especially since they host a lot of like crafting classes. It's for girls. I mean, in the old days, it would you could say it's just for girls. It's my kind of place. Yeah, look up. Yeah, get your thesaurus out and look up for, you know, other words for abyss. Your fave is still Bigfoot, but this isn't all about me. Okay, Emporium. Okay. Emporium. That's another word for abyss? Okay, so that's another thing that might happen with the website. I don't know if Robin's ready to spell that out. I mean, I know she has talked about it. She's talked about us. I'm just going to talk about, yes, I'm just going to talk about what I remember her already saying, and that is that something that will be added to the website is kind of like the Michael's Maker Place, where we can sell handmade items to include everything. Okay. Emporium. I'm gonna say my favorite is still Bigfoot Fibers. Emporium implies that they have all the things. Yeah, it does, absolutely. And I believe, you know, we've talked about this deal, crafts and yarn. So we've talked about, like, I know that I've had conversations with Robin about the Maker's Place. I started to set up my Maker's Place shop, and I haven't gone on with that. I've got other things going on. Bigfoot Crafts and Yarns. Bigfoot Yarn Crafts. I still like Bigfoot Fibers. And how, like, one person who was talking about the Maker Place on the Michael's website, that it was a race to the bottom. You know, that things started out pretty well priced, and then it was a race to the bottom of the pricing, where people are underpricing all their handmade items. And I think, you know, I'm hoping, you know, I'm going to try it. I will try Etsy. I will try the auction sites. What's the big one? For some reason, I cannot think of the big auction site that I used years ago. I'm going to try the Maker Place. I'm going to try to list something pretty expensive, like outrageously expensive, that I made, and see where it sells. So Etsy, not Etsy, eBay. See, I can't even think of eBay. And see if I can get that outrageous price for the fruit garden blanket this winter, like right before Christmas. And you know, I want a place where it's not a race to the bottom, and I don't know how you regulate that. If I could find that website again that Robin has sent me the link for a couple of times already that I've lost. I forget the name of the website, but it's owned by Prada, and their crocheted items are going for really, really high prices. And I'm not going to say outrageous, because those are handmade. Even if they were made in a, you know, some of those things may have been made in a crochet sweatshop. Like, I want to check out that website and see if it's possible, you know, if We imagine, is that a, and we know web names need to be short. Yes, web names need to be short because it's easier to think of when you're typing out, you know, the search for that website. Yes. So we imagine is the name, like the sack bags that are crocheted. Okay, so I got to look that up. See, I'll be going back over. We imagine is the name of the website that I'm talking about right now, Robin. Yeah. I mean, they're handmade items. We should be pricing things, you know, by the by our time. Like I'm at like $25 an hour. Someday maybe I'll bump it up more, depending on the pieces that I'm making too. We need to fix this market to where it's not a race to the bottom. No, okay, like the sack bags that are crocheted. I'm going to check that out. Anyway, you know, anything that you add the word beyond tells there's more, but it's a good handmade site. Okay, yeah, so how do you regulate how people are pricing their handmade items, right? I don't know how you do that in a very American way, where, you know, this is a capitalistic country. We were founded on being self-employed, basically, and not having too much interference in how we conduct business. So, you know, how do we ethically... I think, you know, this site that I'm talking about that's owned by Prada that Robin showed us that time, I don't know how long ago. Yeah. Well, and Sharon, this is what the American Crochet Association says. You take your time. Okay, so you take one suggestion that I really, really like is from the American Crochet Association, where you take what is minimum wage in your area, multiply it by 2, charge for how many hours it took you to make that item, and have a minimum, and then add the cost of your materials. So, and some of you may balk at that. I know that, it, you know, that when I figured out how many hours I had into the fruit garden blanket plus materials, you know, my stomach did a little twist, and then I thought, no, don't give in to that. Don't give in to that. Because, like I've said before, crochet is a life skill. It is a hobby. It is a business, and it's also an art form. Now, if you have a gallery, what if you had a public showing of your art form? How much would your art form go for? Let's say if you were into oils or pastels or some other form of art. Yeah. And I think the more skilled you are and the more experienced you are, and how beautifully you know, even your stitches are, and how well your color choices are, all of those things will contribute to what you charge per hour. Yeah, what do paintings sell for? Even amateur artists get what they're worth. Yes, they think you're selling crap, and then there are those who walk through, you know, your latest you know, craft fair, and they're like, that person down there is selling the same thing for $5 a piece, and I really have to bite my lip as a mouthy truck driver and not say, then go buy that, go buy it, or I can make that for $10 worth of yarn. Then go make it. Go do it.
Or do you want one ready-made, done by a skilled handicrafter that you can give as a gift right now? So I couldn't do the craft fair thing. I would be mouthy. Where the lady sold her Christmas stockings for $300. Oh, I vaguely remember that. Oh, that was a good video. Yes, you sent me that link. Yes, Christmas stockings for $300. Exactly, Sherry. So I tell this story all the time. You know, I was giving riding lessons. I was a barrel racing coach and a horse trainer when I was, you know, still living at Pat's house in Emmett. Pat is Benji's mom. When Dooley and I were living with Pat and Benji, I was still doing that. And one of my friends in the industry, Dolores, contacted me and said, could you make this troll hat for me, and how much would it cost? Well, I figured out the price of the yarn, and back then I was still doing that silly thing that doesn't make any sense by taking my yarn and multiplying by 3. And I came up with $45 for a troll hat. Now this is a character hat. A hat with a troll head on top and that troll hair combed out on top. She wanted it as a gift for her niece. And I gave her a price and she said, okay, I'll get back to you. Well, she never did. Come to find out, she went to the worst crocheter in town, who was also the most well-known crocheter in town, because, well, yeah, and I think that we have to be careful. We just find better venues because we still can undervalue our stuff. Good morning, Connie. Right into it. Okay, so anyway, I found out later that she went to this person who was always talking about how she crochets these. She had the biggest, fattest, sloppiest stitches with ends sticking out, these horrible, poorly done character hats, and she was just a crochet factory. She was her own little crochet sweatshop. She used an oversized hook with worsted weight yarn, and you know, there wasn't a good fabric coming out of that with that combination. And oh, she was a lifter and a yanker and you know, all these things. And she would price those hats, all these character hats that were not licensed, by the way, at all the craft fairs. She had a table full of these awful hats, and she sold them for $5 a piece. All because she wanted to undercut everybody else's prices. Yes, like your $7 hat lady, which, you know, we can look at that a couple ways. She's just trying to cut everybody's prices, or she doesn't have the guts to charge, you know, what she's worth, or she's just some sweet little old lady who doesn't know any better. You know, we don't know. We don't know where that mindset is. But I know where this one little nasty crocheter's mindset was. She was trying to undercut everybody. She was the one who all the crocheters and knitters and different places that we gathered to crochet we were all getting along on the playground. Well, she stands up in the bark chips and starts screaming foul for absolutely no reason, trying to get everybody to fight again. I mean, we literally had crochet wars in Emmett, Idaho because of her. Okay, I'm so happy you came in. Thank you. And then I bought this beautiful, beautiful baby set. It was a little, you know, like little dress. This is for like a 0 to 3 month old baby. It was done out of this fingering weight pink unspun yarn that had like little pearl beads in it. She did the little dress portion, she did matching booties, and she did a little cardigan. And she was only charging me $15 for that set. I said, you need to charge more for that. She says, I can't because of, you know, the area we're in. No. No. that's too bad. She doesn't need your pattern. I mean, you may have been way more gracious than me. The truck driver came out at me right then. Sorry about that. The truck driver. Oh my goodness. And that's the thing. I didn't worry about her. I didn't worry about her hats when I was making this basket weave, bottom up, beautifully ribbed, messy bun hat that wasn't done around a hair tie thing. It was done with a drawstring at the top. So, I found this pattern from a crochet designer. I emailed her and got her emailed permission to sell my finished items because she's in another country where the laws may be different. And besides, I didn't know any better. Yeah, good for you. Yeah, good for you that you need something from me. Good for you. Doesn't mean you're gonna get it. So anyway, this Canadian designer, it was called the Bun and Done beanie. And I started making those and selling them around my little town of Emmett for $25 a piece. And this was back, I think that was even cheap. I think now, knowing more about pricing and the market, I maybe should have charged more for those, but it was still, I was charging more for a crocheted hat than anybody in the state, I think. So definitely more than Miss $5 loosey-goosey stitches and tail ends. So, and I sold them. I mean, I could barely keep up with the orders. Yeah. If I had better yarn, I definitely would have charged more. I was using Red Heart Soft in the variegated colors, and then Red Heart Soft in the solids for the brim and for the top. And looking back on them now, I kind of cringe and think, oh, those really didn't go well. I should have used some better options and charged more for them. But I was still learning. Yeah, but I mean this, and then I was also doing these kitchen sets. 2 thermal stitch pot holders with 2 matching dishcloths. A full set was like $15 or $20 back then, and I sold them at the local fruit stand. Oh, absolutely. Ski resorts, they would love those. You do kind of got to look around at your market, but also, who was it I heard this from? Some guru, one of the gurus, one of the big fame, I think it was Dave Ramsey or Robert Kiyosaki. I think it was Dave Ramsey who said, was it? I think it was Dave Ramsey. He says, you bump that price until you get a little, just one person balks at it. One person says, ah, how dare you, how dare you put it up to that price? And you keep it right there. So yeah, that's a matter of feeling out the market. You bump up your price, and as soon as you get, a few that say, wait a second, that is just too expensive, then you're at the right price. And this is someone who knows way more about marketplace than I do. Way more. And what did I follow that advice on? I don't remember. I don't remember if I actually implemented that advice, but that's just something that I've heard him say. Get some work done. Go do your chores, Spring. Quit sitting around yakking at us. We'll see ya. Have a great day. Thank you for coming in. $3 for $10. You know what? You've got some who don't want to pay, and then you've got some who realize that's what prices are. Robin and I were talking about overhead the other day. So you've got overhead. You've got overhead, like, okay, so if you're at a craft fair, you've got overhead. You've got your gas to and from. You've got to somehow come up with a percentage or an amount, you know, a threshold somewhere, you know, for your booth fee, your gas, you know, your whatever fees that you incur from, you know, taking credit cards. You know, there's got to be, what was it we were talking about the other day, Robin? A percentage of your cost. You've got to add in your overhead, and then you need profit, you know, and that percentage has to go across all the different, you know, spread out evenly amongst all the different things that you sell. You buy a single scrubby sponge in the store, it's $4 to $6. Throw them away after a month. Exactly. Parking, yes, sometimes you have to pay for parking. Now, if you've got a brick and mortar, then you've got electricity, you've got wages, you have overhead, and your products, your prices have to cover that. Otherwise, you can't employ people. You can't pay the rent. You can't pay the electricity. And how you figure out that percentage, I don't know. I don't know how you come up with that formula. I bet Robin's going to find out. Robin's going to figure it out if she hasn't already. Internet. Yes, you have internet fees. You've got phone. You've got cell service. Do you serve food? Do you keep food stocked in the fridge at that place? Do you packaging? Oh my goodness, packaging. Yes, you've got to add a certain percentage, because otherwise you're not even breaking even. And a lot of these, oh, and you know, Robin and I have talked about this. I made $2,000 at the craft fair yesterday. No, you didn't. Those videos, yeah, rent, yes, lease of the building, all of that stuff. You know, your web hosting. If you've got a website, there's a price you pay for the server, for the hosting. All of these things, ongoing expensive. That is overhead, and that is something. Yes, you do, absolutely. That's what I was saying earlier, Robin, about when I went through the whole Dandy equine services and coming up with my website, workers' comp. Yes, all of these things are overhead. You have to add a percentage into the pricing to cover those things. Otherwise, you are not paying rent. You are not hiring employees and helping them make a living. You're not doing all that. You're not keeping the electricity on for those employees to have a place to come to work. Yep, you gotta buy the website name. Yep. I should sell my domains. My Dandy equine, because I'm not going to use them. I'm not going back into the horse training business. You know, I'll work a little bit with my mom's horses, and eventually I might have, you know, one of my own again. I'd sure like one like Deacon. What is this? When delivering or picking up, blah blah blah. Do not drive in the back, south side of the building. Whatever. What? What are you talking about? Hello, Market Express. Come on over, dude. Oh. Okay, Sherry. I have no idea. Oh, at Fred Meyer Class. Oh, I know what they're talking about. Whatever. City, country, and county and state. Yes. Yes, you've got all of these things to pay for in order to have a business. Whether you're selling in a brick and mortar, selling on a website, or selling at a craft fair. Yeah, I don't know, are you renting it or do you own it? Because I own all those different Dandy Equine domain names. You're renting the site, that's for sure, because you're paying for the hosting, for the server to host where that website is held. And then you got web designing, you got logo stuff, and insurance, even at craft fairs. Yes, all the things. If you buy the name, I think you own it, but you're definitely renting the site for it to be hosted on a server. Like BraveNet. You know, I use BraveNet just because it's easy. And it's, even then, it's a little difficult for me. Not as easy as it was 10, 15, 20 years ago. Oh, and if you use anything like Stripe or Square, you've got to pay processing fees every time somebody purchases something. So don't tell me you make money. Exactly. Yeah, don't tell me you made $2,000 at a craft show yesterday and put up a video about what a craft show, you know, success. You're a craft show wizard. Exactly. You didn't make a dime, girl. You did not make a dime. You spent $4,000 on all the yarn and the time and the gas and the fees and the booth fee and all those other things, and then you sold $2,000 worth of stuff. That gross sales does not tell us you made anything. Do not use your credit card to spend $2. Exactly. That is why I'm pretty sure I'm going with Venmo and Zelle for tickets to the Pacific Northwest Yarny Social this year. I'll have a link to each, and the price will include the 6% Idaho sales tax, and then I will just take that sales tax when it's all done, when the event's all done, and pay the state of Idaho. Yeah, they need a lesson in money. Well, yeah, they may have, you know, had $2,000 in sales, but they did not make $2,000. They are not $2,000 in the black. That is not how that works. And I don't believe them when they say they did $2,000 in sales anyway. I don't believe. I think that's padded. That's just my opinion. You guys, you know, might believe those girls if you want. I don't think so. I have doubts. But amigurumi, you know, some really cute stuff that does sell, and unlicensed, you know, characters. People sell those illegally. All the time they sell those. I wouldn't want to get caught, because some of those companies, I think Disney went after somebody, went after a few people like 2 or 3 years ago. I didn't look into that whole story, but I'm pretty sure it was Disney who sued a couple of crafters. You know, like craft show type crafters. Yeah, I know you did. I know, it's ridiculous. Well, you got to know that stuff before you start making claims like that publicly. Because it's misleading to the viewers. That's like that one saying, this is how you run a raffle on YouTube. Yeah, I hear they had zero sense of humor, yes. Like this one YouTuber, I don't know, 6 months ago, maybe not that long, was talking about how to run a raffle on YouTube. And I'm like, that is illegal. Oh, cite me the law. It is illegal in every state. According to my Secretary of State, who I had a conversation with, you need to do your own research before you start telling people to do something illegal. Don't tell me, I'm not going to go do your work for you. What state are you in? Go look it up yourself. Call the Secretary of State yourself. I was making sure I wasn't doing anything illegal in the state of Oregon when I held the first Yarny Social. It is federal. It is illegal in 50 states. Yes, yes. It is federal. And here's how you do a legal raffle. You apply for a permit from your Secretary of State. You can't just assume because the profits are supposedly going to charity. You cannot just assume that it's okay for you to run your raffle. No, you still have to get a permit from your state. You have to apply for a permit. And mostly the people who get approved are businesses and nonprofits, like registered nonprofits. Now, I haven't gone through that application process. I probably could, just to find out, you know, how it works. I could do that in the state of Idaho. And then I could report back to you guys about how that worked. Did I get accepted? Did I get denied? If I get accepted, how much does the state want? That's probably considered income tax. And my state doesn't. State income tax in Idaho, I think, is almost non-existent. So anyway, I could find all that out. I could also find out how it works in Oregon, especially for a non-Oregon resident. Those are good little projects to learn how and if an individual can get an application accepted for doing a raffle, because otherwise it's illegal gambling. All gambling, all paying for a chance to win is regulated by every state, and that's what a raffle is. You're buying a chance to win. You're selling chances to win. So yeah, I think that would be a great experiment. I'll keep that in the back of my mind, because first I want to figure out, you know, like that website that's owned by Prada that I still can't think of the name of. You know, see if I can sell my blanket for a good price. How does that work? How do they acquire their crocheted pieces that they charge really high prices for? And I'd like to find that video where that gal was selling her $300 crocheted Christmas stockings. Were they crocheted or knitted? I can't remember. Find out how she sold that. See if I can figure out how she sold it. Heck, I might even email her and ask her. What was your strategy? If you don't mind sharing. If you do mind, I get it. Not a problem. I'll just keep researching. You know, maybe eBay. Maybe I can sell it for that much on Etsy. If someone's selling one for $500, I'm sorry, but that is not enough. And I don't know if that person actually crocheted it or if she's splitting the cost. I don't know what's going on with that. But yeah, I'll try the Maker Place. See if I can get that high price for that blanket. It's the same thing. It's you know, it's a fiber art, and they're beautiful stockings. Yeah, I want to check. I'm going to find that video again. Do a little research. Okay. Yeah, if you come across it, let me know. Those are things I can, you know, I can go through that process, and well, I can even call. I can call Oregon State, and I can call Idaho, the Secretary of State, and see, you know, what is that problem? What is the legal way for me to do a raffle, whether it's online or at, in real life. Now auctions, we can do an auction. We can like do a live with auctions, because I didn't have anything else to, because that's the thing. Yeah, that's why I wasn't asking you to go. Isn't it illegal for YouTubers to require people to be, it's not, I don't think it's illegal, but it is against YouTube policy. I don't know if it's illegal, but I did find that once in their policies. I'm not sure I could find it again, but it is against YouTube procedure. I don't think it's really policed at this point, but I don't know that there is actually a law that they're complying with, but it is in their policies. Yeah, Yarning for a Smile was talking about it. I haven't really found a law, but I haven't really looked either. I'll have to look at Kim's video again. I know it is definitely, yes, yeah, it's super hard to find, but it is against YouTube. You are not allowed to require people to subscribe to your channel or thumbs up or share it out or anything, which it goes against my ethics anyway, to require anything. If I'm doing a giveaway, it's a free gift, and I do it because I enjoy it. But it's against YouTube policies. I don't know about a law. I don't know if it falls under that, requiring something of somebody for a chance to win kind of, idea. I don't know if it does. When I'm in a conversation with the Secretary of State again, that's a good question for me to ask them. Does, requiring, because I tell people, I encourage people not to ask that of their subscribers anyway, or of their viewers, just because of where my standards are and where my priorities are. But I don't want to give them false information and tell them that it's illegal, or when it is legal, when it is perfectly fine to do that as far as the law is concerned. The problem is with right now, as far as we know, it is with YouTube itself. Okay, Ellie, thank you. Hi, Jennifer. Not policed, a bag a day is doing, yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. And I don't agree with her on that. But, I mean, all due respect to Crystal. Absolutely. But, yeah, I don't agree with her on a lot of things. But I do respect her on many other things. So there's that soapbox. I'm still north of, I'm coming into Maxwell. I still have 99 miles to go. and miles to go before I sleep. What's that from? I've asked you that question before. And miles to go before I sleep. Don't look it up. Don't ask Dr. Goo. I just want to know. I mean, there's no prize or anything if you know the answer. I just want to know if anybody remembers that. Most people do it. Yeah, well, a lot of do, and I disagree with it on, you know, principle, but I think it's more important to make connections. Robert Frost. What was that? Robert Frost, The Road Less Taken. Thank you. Yep, I don't remember. That was high school. Yes, it was. It was high school, Amy. Yes, very good, Steph. Robert Frost. Whose woods are these? I think I know. His home is in the village, though. That's all I remember. Yes, it's Robert Frost. Whose woods are these? I think I know. Or, I get confused. Is it called Stopping in Woods on a Snowy Evening? Is that what it's called? Or is it called The Road Less Taken? I think there are two poems that are very similar. See, I'm no expert. I'm not into poetry. But my mom read that poem to me once when I was a kid, and it's always stuck with me. And miles to go before I sleep. So now you guys can look up Dr. Goo and figure out. I think it's called Stopping in Woods on a Snowy Evening. The horse gives a little jingle, as in, you know, are we going? The horse gets a little impatient. Horse wants to go home, get bedded down, get its dinner. I want some dinner. Oh, I do think I've got bursitis. Oh, yeah. My right arm, oh, and my right shoulder are hurting. Gotta stretch that out. I gotta figure out. I got some doctor videos to watch later today to see if I can head off this any bursitis, because one of the crocheters, I think she's into nursing or something, she says point to where it hurts, and I did, and she said do this, that's bursitis. Ugh, I'm like, great. I know team ropers who've got bursitis. They had to quit roping for a long time in order to swing a rope again. To get the massager out and see if I can massage that pain on my shoulder. Whew. Probably have to plug it in for a while. Jennifer, we're just on our soapbox about so many different things today. So many different things. And, you know, and we're not trying to be negative. We're trying to keep it on a positive note because, you know, things are what they are. And life is good. Life is good. That's all right, Jennifer. That's all right. We were talking about how when I had like 1 second of a spotlight on me, you know, my popularity kind of shot up for a half a second back in the day because of the Christmas in July Fairies giveaway, and how great that was. It was fun. I knew at the time that it was temporary, that upward climb, and that spotlight. But, you know, I met so many great viewers, people who are still around today, and God bless the ones who were with me before that. And I don't know why you had well, because you lived in it. It was your home, Robin. You needed your stuff. I'm the same way. I need to clean out mine. I need to burn that thing to the ground and go buy another one. But anyway, you know, I had a second there And I kind of got a tiny little taste of, let's say, we were just talking about Bag a Day. I've talked about Mikey a lot. Let's say Bella Coco, Marley Bird, the Erin Lane Bags, all these people, Selena Baca, and how I got the tiniest little crumb taste of what they go through. I met some great viewers, and I met some great content creators. I made huge connections with people, which I think is the most important thing, is our relationships with other people. Our relationship with God and our relationships with other people, I think, are the two most important things in our lives. That's just where my heart goes. Okay, well, there was also a little bit of negativity. There were people who were only like sidling up to me to take advantage of me. Yes, you've been with me, yeah, you know, and whether you guys, you know, found me through that or found me through something else, or were with me from the beginning when Sandy from Left is Right was just shouting me out, you know, she was great. So I got a tiny little taste, and a lot of that was glorious. It was fun. It was fabulous. But there's a side of it that wasn't so great, and that was the people who were just, we didn't touch on the, oh yeah, there's nasty comments. I got a nasty comment about one of my color palettes. I just realized was on there this morning. It's like, seriously? What are you being so nasty about? So anyway, it was nasty. It was absolutely uncalled for, and I'm like, whatever. So anyway, back during that time when it also gave me a big target. There's a handful of people who still target me today, because they don't want other people to have a connection with me, which is fine. You know, that's like we were talking about earlier. That was, you know, if people carried out a bucket of water in front of them all the time, those people have a hole in their bucket, and they're constantly dipping out of other people's buckets to fill their own. Well, theirs has a hole in it, so they just keep doing it. There's also those who immediately, I can think of one immediately, who jumped right in, and immediately this was all about her. She even presented her video as if it was her idea. The whole thing was hers. These people just take advantage of you. They use you. And you start to get a feel for that after a while when people, you know, sometimes at first you're like, oh, it's so cool. All these people are joining me in a collaboration. It was very exciting. Yes, just turn it off. I'm told I should be ashamed for taking advantage of Hobby Lobby. Oh my goodness. Oh, holy cow. Well, and you're so rich. You shouldn't be flaunting all your money, Robin. I remember that one. None of us are rich, let me tell you. So anyway, I started to get a feel for people who were only making contact with me, and some of those people still do it today. They're only making contact with me to take advantage of me, to boost their own visibility. And a lot of these collaborations, I see that's what it's all about. It is not about making connections with you guys. And there were times when, you know, I was guilty of doing that, not really seeing what I was doing, and I felt horrible. I felt guilty when I did that. That was all in the beginning. I would go running into somebody else's, you know, live video, and I'd jump in the chat and I'd immediately start talking about me and what I've got going on right now. This is what I'm making, and this is what I'm doing, you know, as a collaboration. And then I look at it and I'm like, oh, Dana, that was so just ugly. That was just icky. You shouldn't have, that was an icky thing to do. And then other times I've made contact with a couple of those people that I mentioned earlier who are truly professionals. And I knew that in my heart I was being sincere. It was not about it was not about using them. My purpose was not to use them for something. But they talked to me like I was total dog crap because that's how it looked to them. It looked like I was just contacting them to use them. And that was never, I mean, oh. And so that felt like a gut punch when I got accused of doing that when I wasn't doing it. So that happens. That happens. Yeah, if they don't like the, you know, music I do to honor somebody's request, or they don't like what's going on here, they don't have to watch, you know. They don't have to say something nasty that, you know, that it didn't necessarily disrespect me, but it disrespected the people. I can think of 2 people who requested that song. And I came up with a, you know, a pretty color palette, and I did a 60-second short on it. It just wasn't nice. Just wasn't nice, and it was totally uncalled for. But anyway, sometimes I have been guilty of doing that, especially in the beginning, and I'm not perfect today. And I got shut down for it, and rightfully so. So I'm very sensitive to that now. I was told the other day I didn't smile. Oh my goodness. Whatever. I have coffee stained teeth. I don't want to smile. They're coming up. All those songs, all those requests, they are coming up. They are. Yes, that's it. I'm storming out of here. I hear ya. No. Oh my goodness. It's like, you know, go critique yourself. Go worry about your own channel. You know, there are a few things that we have to deal with. And when I see someone else accusing me or us of using them because of their popularity on YouTube, it's a gut punch. You know, I just want to throw up, because I you know, then I'm trying to figure out, how did I present myself like that? You know, how did we, you know, and the truth is, you can get jaded really fast. When someone is always trying to use you, you can get jaded pretty fast, and it's easy to you know, accuse someone wrongly of doing that. So, oh, sorry, just had to say, I put very short videos I just had to say, I put very short videos of my fur babies. Oh, yeah. So those are just a few things that, you know, just to give you some insight as to some things that go on. And I, you know, like I said, that wave of popularity, that was short-lived. Totally short-lived. So, and why, you know, some people might look at me, you know, and put a target on me to fill their own bucket, even to this day, just whatever. It's like, what are you hurting? I'm not making money off of YouTube. You know, I'm not. I'm making connections. And there are those who don't even want you to do that. You know, they just turn green, you know, thinking that somebody else is making a connection somewhere. And that is sad. That is sad. I know. I don't, I've never raised kids, but I do know what a, you know, nasty adult looks like. An entitled, you know, nasty, crappy human being in the adult form looks like. I can see them on the road. You know, I learned a lot about what, you know, adult behavior is considered normal today, just by watching how they drive. But for the most part, you know, from the very beginning, I have made connections with a you know, like a core group of viewers, like all of you, and that has been the most rewarding thing about YouTube, and it's worth all the other crap. It's worth all of that. So, you know, when Robin and I were talking about this handful of nasty people before, I remember I was coming out of Arizona when we were talking about that. Don't let that scare you away, because the connections you make, if your goal is to make those connections and those friendships and, you know, to recognize people and what's going on in their lives, you know, is their power out this week? Do they have to use their generators? You know, what's going on with their mom? Yeah, I have been posting a little bit in MeWe. I've been trying to, but you know, nobody's seeing it. Nobody's getting notifications. Everything I post on Facebook, I also post on MeWe. But there's no interaction anymore. You know, I guess I didn't keep it. I guess I didn't keep it, you know, active enough, but I still do. I like MeWe, and there are a couple of groups that I really enjoy. Yeah, I'm still on MeWe, and I still share everything on MeWe. Everything that I share on Facebook. We need to get some conversations on there going again. People sharing what they're making. One person I got rid of because she was just self-promote. I don't mind a little bit of self-promotion. I mean, a little bit. But when it's obvious that's all you're doing on my group, you know, you didn't ask permission. I know I made those mistakes too in the beginning. Yeah. I tried MeWe, but I couldn't figure it out. They're just groups. Yes, and it is so amazing. It has been so cool. I mean, I've met up with Robin. I've met Robin, I want to say 3 or 4 times. That's been so cool. I met up with Lynette. I think I met up with Lynette twice. I've met up with Rosalie from Yarn It Out. Yeah, I know. Everybody asks, you know, if you get permission, you know, you kind of feel it out. Then it's okay. It's all right. But, you know, when people are just constantly saying, I am selling this pattern, I am selling that pattern, here's another pattern I'm selling. Oh, would you like to buy my pattern? You know, someone was doing that in the MeWe group, and it's like, you're gone. No tact. No tact. I hope you do start a channel, because it is fun. It is fun. And you can tell when, you know, you first, like within the first 2 minutes or 1 minute of somebody's video, what their focus is. Whether they're there for you or they're there for themselves. It's so obvious. And I don't know why so many content creators can't figure that out. I know. I know. Okay, bye, Joyce. I kind of skirt around Joyce's area all the time, but not right down in that area. Yeah, who else? Rosalie from Yarn It Out. I've met her and Lynette. I met twice. I met Yarn Happy Kim when I was in Canton, Ohio. I met Deb down in Phoenix. That was wonderful. Who else have I met? I met Mara, Mindfully Crocheted. I've met Amanda Woodbury for the Mindful Crocheter. She's on Facebook. I have met Stephanie Hopper. I've met Carrie Jetton, Jet1N, Jetton. Oh, I definitely will. Oh yeah, I met, you know, I've met Carrie. And, you know, like I said, Robin and Morgan, absolutely. And I've met all these crocheters in the Gresham Troutdale area in Oregon, a ton of them. And most of the crocheters in Emmett, Idaho, several from the Boise area, Twin Falls, just that whole Treasure Valley area. And all of that pretty much stemmed from YouTube. And Joe Dog, I met sweet Joe Dog. Sweet Joe Dog. I never met Max, but I feel his loss. I feel the loss of never having met him. Joe Dog, so sweet, so sweet. Oh, my shoulder is just in terrible shape today. Stretch this baby out. Oh, sweet Joe. He was the sweetest dog. I mean, he was a lover. When I met him in September, he was so sweet. My goodness. I never imagined him being quite that sweet. I figured he would be a little standoffish and not, you know, not really warm up to me. He was immediate. He was just a loving dog. Because Benji, he stands off a little bit, but I tell you what, by the time we got done with a week at home with his grandma and his Aunt Martha and Mia and Maisie, like a couple times he jumped up into Mom's chair with her and sat with her the way he used to with Pat. Yeah, he definitely come pet me, come rub my belly. That was exactly Joe Dog. Yes, he was a sweetheart. Now Benji, starting a life with Benji, that went so much smoother than I thought it would. And it's because he's so smart. He remembers when Dooley and I lived with him and Pat. Benji is doing so well. He's back there. He is sound asleep. He'll be wide awake when we get to Lodi, which is 77 miles away. Okay, what other soapbox did we get on? We're talking about pricing our stuff. He's sound asleep. We talked about, yeah, the crocheters who just crochet these sloppy hats and sell them for $5 a piece, and how it ruins the industry for those who actually take time and do quality work. But, like, you know, like I was saying that, you know, there's a couple different ways to, you know, a couple things, you know, to think about when it comes to bag a day. Okay, so there are a lot of things I disagree with about, you know, bag a day, but I have mad respect for Crystal. I don't believe, well, we were talking about the whole subscriber thing, requiring people to subscribe. To subscribe, you know, requiring people to like and subscribe and share when you're doing a giveaway, that is against YouTube policies. They don't police it, of course, and I disagree with it on principle, because when I'm given a free gift, I'm not going to e-beg you to, or force you to subscribe to me, because it is not, if you want to be successful on YouTube, it is not about your subscriber numbers at all. Yes, absolutely, we see that on a lot of channels because they don't know any better or they don't care. They know that it's not being policed, and it tells me that A, they don't know, or B, they don't care, and that tells me a lot about someone. So and when, you know, people are talking to you about liking and subscribing and sharing it out and all the things to boost, you know, it's all about me. If it's all about me in the first 60 seconds, then you know it's not about you. You know, that video is not up for your sake. That's all about me. And I get turned off by that, so I unsubscribe and I move on. When, you know, to me it's another form of e-begging. But yeah, all of that. Someone suggested that it was illegal, and we were talking about how does that fall under the whole pay for a chance to win? Does it fall under that or not? And then I need to check with the Secretary of State, because, you know, doing a raffle on YouTube, I guarantee you it's illegal. It is illegal. It is illegal to do a raffle on YouTube in the US. It's illegal in all 50 states. And if you know, and I said that to somebody after she did a whole video, you know, one of those, hey, be sure you subscribe, you know, and not done in a graceful way, done in a way that it was all, that video was all about her, not about giving the viewers good information. She's like, here's how you do a video, you do a raffle on YouTube. And I'm like, well, that's illegal. Oh, can you cite the law number? Not in your state, I can't. But I do know it's illegal in all 50 states. Why? Because I called my state Secretary of State and had a conversation with him. And it is absolutely illegal. It is illegal gambling. It is considered pay for play. You're paying for a chance to win if you buy a raffle ticket. And he explained to me how someone goes through a permit, you know, filling out an application to get a permit for a nonprofit or a business to run a raffle. And there's a whole process, and that process has to happen in every state in order to run a legal raffle. Any form of gambling is regulated by your state. So we were kind of speculating the legalities of requiring someone to, you know, be subscribed to your channel if you're doing a giveaway. So yeah, I think they should police for that, but they don't, because everybody's, you know, I say a collective everybody. I don't do it. Robin doesn't do it, you know. But the speculation going through my mind is, yes, against YouTube policies to require someone to be subscribed to you in order to win a giveaway. But what are the legalities of it? Does it fall under kind of a paid for play? I don't think it does, but I think the next time I speak with somebody at the Secretary of, you know, at the Idaho Secretary of State or Oregon, whatever, I might pose that question to them. Does that fall under the, could there be a legal argument for that? Is it legally, you know, is it a legal violation to require someone to subscribe in order to win a giveaway on YouTube? I don't think it is. I think it's a stretch, but, you know, I can find out. I don't what channels? Join, oh, you mean like joining like memberships? I mean, seriously. I mean, I would have to be a full-time crocheting YouTuber full-time like designing patterns or giving, you know, access to something special. Hi, Cindy. To something so super special, not just like, oh, you get to watch, you know, certain lives that, you know, regular viewers can't watch. I don't find, in my value system, I don't find that valuable enough to offer memberships, no matter how cheap those memberships are. I feel like I would have to be doing something way more valuable than that. But that's just me. That's just me. That's just where I'm at with memberships on my, on, you know, in that's my standard. I feel like I really, the same thing with Patreon. I really have to be offering something, you know, something that takes a lot of time, a lot of effort on myself, a lot of my, I just feel like offering exclusive videos, I don't feel like I could do that and feel good about it. But that's just me. I'm not gonna bash other people for doing that. They've got their own thing going on. And maybe I'm not educated enough about what they're offering too. So let me get past this guy. Ugh. Ugh.
Left lanes.
No, I'm not in Ohio. I'm in California. I'm in California. What is that? What is that? Oh my goodness. Ooh. Yeah, I'm in California. Yeah, you know, we were talking about undervaluing, you know, our crochet items. I think that there's also a case, especially when, you know, in memberships and Patreon, where people overvalue what they have to offer. And I think it takes the focus off of your viewers and on yourself. But honestly, I'm not going to, you know, I'm not singling anybody out in my mind. Because I really don't know what they're offering. Honestly, I don't know what they're offering. I'm not a member, so. Okay, see ya, Cindy. Good to see you. We're gonna be live until I get to Lodi, 67 more miles. Yes, Robin, I just saw your text. I didn't know if you wanted me to repeat it. That's your news. Are you going? Are you going right now? Well, there's probably not much you can do right this second. I don't know. That's scary. Robin's got a family emergency, you guys. And it's not Mr. and it's not Morgan. I'm at work. May need to turn it off. If so, okay, gotcha. So that's one of the other things we were talking about earlier. One was, you know, taking advantage, you know, the more popular channels, crochet channels, and being accused of taking advantage of people when you really didn't mean to. And, you know, maybe that's a that's a matter of perception on their part or a matter of presentation on my part. Yeah. And we were talking about pricing items, we're talking about subscribers, you know, pricing items. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we were talking about pricing items. So, you know, I might go through the whole process. You know, I'll talk to the Secretary of State, maybe just in Idaho, since that's where I'm a resident, and ask them, you know, is it possible for me to get an application approved to do a legal, you know, raffle of something? Oh, I'm sorry, Robin. You know, as you know, I'm not a nonprofit, and I'm not technically a business. Is it possible for me to get an application approved to do a legal raffle of a crocheted item? And also, I'm going to, you know, look at a lot of different websites where, you know, there's Etsy, there's eBay, there's the Michael's Maker Place, there's that website that's owned by Prada. You know, is there a possibility for me to get, you know, for me to sell my fruit garden blanket? Let's just say the price is well over $1,000. I probably got to go figure that out, and that's by taking my hourly rate. And there are suggestions on how to figure out your hourly rate. I went with $25, and that's very low end for an hourly rate. And then adding the cost of supplies. What link? Whose link? What? I missed something. I have missed all that chat, and I can't go back. And subscriber numbers, just so you guys know, is not a measure of success on, oh, okay, Steph, yeah, is not a measure of success on YouTube. It is not anymore. So, or maybe I could just sell it. I could just, you know, or, you know, I'll just offer it for sale on YouTube. But I would like to take a look and try to sell it on all those different platforms, and so that, you know, we can see that one website that's owned by Prada. I don't know if they just buy cheap items. I'm not a moderator, so I can't. Oh, I'm sorry. And I can't make you a moderator right now because I'm driving. Give her a search term, something she can Google. So she can go to Dr. Goo. I use DuckDuckGo because I don't like Google. But if she wants to go to Dr. Goo and search a term, then maybe she can search for whatever. I missed what you guys were talking about. I'm sorry. Okay, cool. Yes, there you go. You know, another way to make money, you know, you guys should be watching the Crochetpreneur. What is her name? I love her. And you get a lot of great information from her. And some of her suggestions differ a little bit from the American Crochet Association. So I take it all in. I mean, these are true pros. These are people who treat you like people. They, you know, I've contacted Selena, and she did not treat me like somebody who was trying to take advantage. And when I didn't present myself well, I got corrected, and she does it with grace. She does it with kindness and grace. She doesn't just talk to me like I'm a pile of crap, like a couple of the others have. And it might be because I was just too enthusiastic when I contacted them and presented myself in a poor light. they just thought I was trying to take advantage of them, and I'm like, whatever. So now I'm too embarrassed to ever contact them again. Like, I am not going near them again. Selena's great though, and the crochetpreneur, I've never contacted her. I forget her name. I just learned it the other day. And tomorrow I start watching the Crochet Garment Summit, because that goes Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and it's a series of, you know, at first I thought, oh, this is such basic information, because I didn't go the free route. You can go the free route and register and watch everything live on YouTube. Or I paid the $57 and I have early bird access to pre-recorded videos, and then tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, I will start watching all the live Q&A sessions. Is that Sue? Hi, Sue. Yes. Hi, Sue. So the Crochet Garment Summit, I'm very excited. And the more I got in, they have like umpteen, I don't know how many great professional crocheters involved in that. And I am looking forward to listening to the Q&A sessions while I go down the road. But you can listen to those for free if you register. There's a link. You just scroll down in my community tab. I posted about 2 weeks ago about that, the link to go register. I think it was from the American Crochet Association blog post that linked to where. And yeah, you got to keep going through the maze to get yourself registered, even if you're doing it for free. Doing the free option. I just heard a ding. I don't know what that is. There's a free option, but I knew that I would probably forget about it and not listen to the whole thing, or I would get busy, and so I wanted the lifetime access to all the information. Now they are trying to sell you some really great patterns in there. Oh, there's some blanket patterns that are really nice that you can buy for pretty dang cheap. All kinds of stuff that they're trying to upsell you on. Yeah, I got to skip in all of that because I already paid the $57 and I don't have time to add more to my scorched earth list, right? So the Crochet Garment Summit is packed. And like I said, at first I thought, oh, this is such basic information, but I ended up learning a lot. I ended up learning things like, you know how knitters will knit 2 socks at once? You can do like 2 sleeves of a sweater at once in Tunisian crochet. In Tunisian. Oh, see, and that's great. See, that's connection. That is about, you know, making connections with your viewers. I am headed, so I started at Redding, California, and I'm doing the 3.5-hour drive south to Lodi. I'm going to spend the night in Lodi. I'm going to spend the afternoon working on the last 3 squares of the square swap and exercising my bursitis shoulder, trying to get that figured out, and getting my last 3 squares of the square swap. So 7 squares got mailed out on Tuesday morning, but when I'm in Lodi this afternoon, I'm going to be working on 3 more, and then I know you're like, what happened to the other 2? That's 10. Where's the other 2? Well, one, I found a coffee stain in the middle of my first one, so I kept that one for myself. Oh, but you, okay. I kept that one for myself, and another one I took to Diane. A good friend of Robin and I are friends with Diane. I met her through the Gresham, Oregon Crochet Meetup Facebook group. She runs that group, and I met her, and there are so many crocheters in the Gresham area. No, Sue, I'm over on I-5. I'm on I-5. I won't be going over to 99. I might be going over to 99 tomorrow when I deliver. I'll have to look whether it's off of, I think it's off of 99 and not off of, I'm going to the Trader Joe's warehouse distribution center to deliver tomorrow morning. Yeah, I'm on I-5. Oh, my shoulder. Yes, yep, you're right. I'm on I-5. I'll be going through, I've gone through Dunnigan, I believe, yes. I've passed YOLO. I'm getting ready to go through, what's it called, Woodland? And did I already go through Woodland? I don't know, but I'll be going through Sacramento. Yes, I'm delivering a load in Stockton tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. so I gotta leave early. Oh yeah, that's nice. If that's your thing, doing local, I don't like getting on and off. You know, I got a dog. I don't want to do local. I want to get on the truck and stay on it for a couple months and then get off for a week and then get back, load the truck back up and get on it and live on it for a couple of months. And I like that. I like it more when I'm going someplace besides California all the time. Because doing 59 miles an hour up down I-5 is getting so tedious. Yeah, I'm going through Woodland. Welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place. Okay. Oh. And I'm not even down by the San Andreas Fault, and it's already getting bumpy. We're gonna go through some pretty narrow construction. Oh, let me shut that off so she quits nagging me. I thought about, driving for like Idaho Milk. I thought about hauling milk. And I have seen sleeper trucks going across Wyoming hauling Idaho milk. And I think Dairygold, I'm not sure about Dairygold, because there's a Dairygold place right there in Boise. Yep, going through Woodland. I thought you had to climb up there and clean out those tanks. Apparently you drive underneath like the washer, and it's kind of automated how you wash out those tanks. But I don't want to do day runs. I want to do over the road. My next company, oh yeah, insurance is horrible. I don't even have insurance through this company. I ignore them whenever they're doing the enrollment. Oh, he doesn't have a tank. Oh. Is he like in a box truck, or does he haul a 53-foot trailer like I do, like a reefer trailer? I don't mind hauling reefers. The problem with reefer loads when you're OTR is that most of them unload in the middle of the night. And I can't drive at night. So I get to do dry van, which is low-hanging fruit pretty much in the trucking industry. I could go to work for a car hauling company out of Gresham. Thanks for merging at 40 miles an hour. For Prairie Farms, it's a reefer and it delivers to Aldi stores. Oh, so see, and that's why I was wondering, is it like a box truck, or is he pulling a 53-foot trailer or a short trailer? And he probably unloads. He probably does his own unloading. I just don't, I mean, it sounds like a great gig. And I don't have a problem with the unloading. I mean, you're using pallet jacks, you're using, you know, all the things. It's not that big of a deal to unload. It's that I don't want to get on and off the truck every day. I live here. I like working where I live. And maybe there's a time in the future, well, that will fit my lifestyle better. I mean, bless those local drivers. I don't know how California thinks they're going to get rid of trucks by whatever year. They gave some deadline. We're going to be rid of diesel trucks by the time we get to blah, blah, blah. Really? No, you're not. No, you're not. Yes, he does, and it's helped him. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, it's healthy. I mean, you use a hand truck, you use a pallet jack, you use all the things. You're not carrying that product into the store by hand. Use all the things. Hold on. Okay. He could be driving a 53-foot trailer like I do, you know, a reefer trailer, and then backing into those docks. Or he could be backing in with a, you know, a big box truck, or he could be backing in with a shorter, like a 48 or a 30-some foot trailer. I don't, you know, there are all different ways all that stuff gets to the store docks. It's all trucking, that's for sure. Oh, here it comes. Everybody put on your seatbelts and your helmets and your safety glasses. Ugh, and your water wings. Here we go. Boing, 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 boing. Here we go. It's the bouncy bridge, you guys. Everybody buckle up. Put on your helmets. Steel-toed boots. No flip-flops on this truck. Long sleeve shirts. Work appropriate pants. I wear jeans. Ugh. Bouncy, 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 bouncy. Oh. 47 miles to my trucker break. Oh boy. I think I'll top off when I get there and get that over with, so I don't have to worry about it going back up or going wherever I'm going. I tell you guys, I've got some right shoulder pain. Ugh. One gal said it's bursitis, but I have more than that. I have the one spot kind of in front of my shoulder that hurts, And then I have like sore muscles going down the back of my upper arm. You know, where my chicken wings are. I got chicken wings back there. So I'll get fuel. I'll get some food. I'll probably go in and buy some food. Make sure I might need another jug of water. Because I use jugs of distilled water for the dog water and for the coffee water. And then I buy 1 liter bottles. Oh, it's a 48 footer. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna be listening to some videos on bursitis, so I can learn about that. I know a lot of team ropers. I know a team roper in Colorado who hasn't team roped since high school rodeo because of bursitis in his shoulder. So, you know, if that's what I've got going on, then I need to do something to nip that in the bud. It doesn't hurt all the time. Yeah, so I get 1 liter bottles of smart water, and I've got a whole case over there that I haven't opened yet. I got a bottle or two floating around here that I case. But yeah, I use jugs of distilled water, coffee. And for my baths, I heat up a little water for my baths. Sometimes I just use the wipes. Dude showers. Oh, here's that narrow part here by Woodland with the construction. This lane gets really narrow. So he's pulling a 48 footer. He's probably, since he's home every night, I'm wondering if he's I'm sure using a day cab, no sleeper. So he's probably got a shorter wheelbase than I do, which I'm sorry, that makes it, I don't care what anybody says, having a shorter wheelbase on the tractor makes it easier to back into docks. It is for me, because I grew up pulling, like in high school rodeo, I had a pickup, I had a half-ton pickup, and I had a little Stidham 2-horse trailer. It was a single axle 2-horse trailer, and I hauled all over the state by myself, pulling my horse to all the high school rodeos. Two things about that. One, people, you know, what do you mean it was only a single axle? What if you got a flat tire? Well, we pulled over and we changed the tire. It was not a thing. It was never a thing. And the second thing is, you know, backing that thing up, it was so short. I got good at that. It was a squirrely little bugger, but I got good at it. So backing up short trailers doesn't bother me. Backing up with this long wheelbase. Oh yeah, I high school rodeoed. I started barrel racing when I was 6 years old. In Canby, Oregon. At the Clackamas County Fairgrounds, there was a club called the Canby Barrel Racing Club, CBRC. I think it's still around today. I'm not positive. Maybe they changed the name or something. And my mom and I both became members as soon as we moved to Canby. Mom was not a founding member, but she was a member within the first year or two of the founding of that club. So I grew up in the Canby Barrel Racing Club, learning to do all the things: barrel racing, pole bending, goat tying, figure eights. What else? I think that was all I did. I never did like the steer daubing and the steer and decorating, but I think that would be so dang fun. So dang fun. And I never roped. I think it's good for kids as long as it's not done as something that they're entitled to, that they have every right to do it, that it would be like a crime against humanity to say, no, you cannot compete this weekend because you skipped class. Your number one priority better be your chores, your classes, your grades. Yeah. Which, yeah, that's what my mom had to hold over my head to keep me in line. So, yeah, I think it's a great thing. I think it's a great, I think competition, fun competition like that is a great thing. I do not want to run you over, lady. And I think having the responsibility of cleaning the stalls and feeding the horses and caring for them and, all of that, plus, having to keep your grades up and not skip class. I think that is a great way to raise a kid in all my non-parenting experience. It was a great way to grow up. I also competed with black powder. When I was with my dad, we competed with muzzleloaders. That was fun. And then later on in high school, I competed in high school rodeo. So, the other point I wanted to make about that story is never send your daughter to a high school rodeo by herself, especially one who tends to like to break the rules. Just saying. I was not an angel at those high school rodeos. They should never go to those things without a parent. Well, even the boys, I don't think. I saw what happened. I was right in the thick of it. Parents should always be involved. I didn't think so at the time because I was so busy breaking the rules. Okay, everybody wave at Amy. We're going through Sacramento. Hi, Amy. Carrie, there you are. Hey, she is, she's on vacation. Carrie's here, yay! And everybody wave at Amy. We're going by her in Sacramento. You're in Hawaii, how cool. I've got 39 more miles to Lodi, and I'm going to end the live as we pull into Lodi. I'm going to get some food and some water from the truck stop, and then I'm going to, I've got to walk the dog. I got to get fuel, and I am going to work on my last 3 squares. We've had a great live this morning, talking about all kinds of stuff, fun stuff. I'm ready for a trucker break. We're only 39 miles away, so.
Any of the 4 left lanes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm always in this lane going through Sacramento. Carrie, I was just wondering when we're going to hear from you again. I'm glad to hear from you. I was talking earlier about how May 1st, I'm going to be sharing out the link for Venmo and one for Zelle for people to pay for their registration for the Yarny Social. I'm just going to include the Idaho sales tax in the price, and that way there's no confusion, there's no extra fees, and I'll just pay the sales tax to the state when it's all said and done. So, doing all the things. I have sent out, I've shared out. I was wondering how many applications you received, vendor applications. because I've shared the link out. I think I shortened it. I don't remember. I shared it out, but I'm going to share it out again. Need to share it out again. I need to keep that out there. So that we have vendors. There's a couple more people I want to share the application with. We are getting there on the Yarny Social, you guys. It's going to be a short day. I'm going to be done in about 45 minutes. And then tomorrow morning I deliver. Yes, just, you know, enjoy your cruise. Enjoy your cruise. I was just curious if you've noticed how many applications you've gotten in, you know, just super curious about how many have applied. I think I sent some to Sweet Valley Alpacas. I can't remember if I sent one to Joanna at High Desert Yarns or not. I'll have to look. I'll have to look. I think it's been, what, a week, 2 weeks since I shared those out. So time to send out some more invitations to apply. Oh, this year's Yarny Social is going to be so good, you guys. It's going to be great. So great. So excited. So yeah, that's my to-do list today. Fuel, walk the dog, walk the baby dog. Go get some food, another jug of distilled water, and then I'm going to sit in here and I'm going to work on those last 3 squares of the square swap, because all the others have been mailed out. I can hardly wait to hear that everybody got their squares that I've mailed out so far. Just 3 more to mail out. 3 more to finish and mail out. Well, I got to block it, but I got all that with me, all the blocking stuff. I love those blocking combs for these squares. Now, smaller, like granny square, kind of smaller motifs, I would easily do the pegboard, but I wasn't a fan of how the pegboard worked for these squares. You know what? All those rules, Sue, they're with, you know, truckers who understand. Like, I'm not an OG trucker. OG truckers don't do that. There's a protocol about that. I only understand the protocol because I grew up talking on the CB with my dad and all of his buddies, so I learned a lot. There is protocol out there, but a lot of these newer drivers don't know what it is, and there's so many new drivers. You know, I consider myself a new driver, but I do understand all those old protocols. Like this guy, you know, he passed me on the right. That was a FU move to me, because I'm in the lane of least resistance. He should have passed me on the left. And this is the truck okay lane going through Sacramento. I'm not going to speed just because you want to. Yeah, that guy, that Werner flatbed guy who passed me on the right, does not understand the protocol. He should have gotten in the lane to my left to pass me. But he was trying to. He's basically flipping me the bird by doing it on the right. And I would say there are more of those drivers who don't get it than drivers who understand the old protocol. It's like the driver I got in a verbal altercation with yesterday morning. That guy, he's not, you know, he does not understand the protocol that's in place. So he drove like a jerk and then blamed me because I wasn't going fast enough. Yeah, he's not a good driver. I would not trust that guy with my equipment. If I owned equipment, I would not hire him. But that's 90% of the drivers out here now. I would not hire them. They do not look professional. They do not look like they're ready to haul a load as a professional truck driver when they walk in their shorts and their flip-flops and their pajama tops, uncombed hair, when they walk into a customer to get loaded or unloaded. I would not hire those guys. Okay, so CRST is coming up on my left. Good for you, dude. Oh, the cars are even worse. I would say 99% of the people out here do not know what a good car driver is. They do not know. They do not understand the flow of traffic. They don't understand the laws, traffic laws. And they just drive like jerks. See that guy that just passed me on the left? Good for you, dude. He wasn't, you know, doing any jerk moves because I'm doing 59 miles an hour in the truck lane. And also, there is a lane of least resistance when you're going through a more populated, more heavy traffic area like Sacramento. I don't want to get clear over in the hammer lane. I don't want to get clear over in the left, but I'm not hanging out in that right lane because then I'm constantly dealing with merging traffic, especially 99% of these people who either do not understand how merging works or they don't care. So we're in the lane of least resistance, which changes with these exit lanes. So now I need to get over a lane because the number of lanes just changed. So if there's 3 lanes going through an area like this, I'm going to be in lane number 2. And lane number 1 is the one in the center. It goes from left to right. I know it seems like it should go the other way, but it doesn't. So I am not getting in that right lane. I'm hanging out in lane number 1, 2, 3, 4 because it's the lane of least resistance. And I'm not dealing with the mergers, except for the ones who merge. You know, people think there's no need for turn signals. There's absolutely a need. I don't care how obvious it is what you're going to do. If you're not communicating with other drivers well ahead of your maneuver, you are part of the problem. And the worst mergers in the world, St. Louis, Missouri. They're awful. And it's not because they're jerks, it's because they're not jerks. They think, you know, they're trying, I don't know, they're timid and they don't make a decision. You either get way out in front or you come around behind, and when it's appropriate, get into the left lane and pass the truck. If you have plenty of room in front, get way out in front. Don't do this, oh, am I going to go in front? You know, make that decision as you're getting on the on-ramp. Because otherwise it's a dangerous situation. The number 1 maneuver that results in an accident on the road is a lane change. And it doesn't matter if you're in a car or a truck. The highest percentage of incidents happen during a lane change. So it is so hard for a truck to move over. It is a double standard for a semi-truck when it comes to these merging drivers. We will do our best to get over for another semi-truck because merging into traffic is so much harder for a semi-truck than it is for a four-wheeler. We are not getting over for every four-wheeler merging because that just causes more lane changes. We will do our best to get over for a semi-truck. yes, it's a double standard, and it's absolutely justified. That's how it works. So if someone is coming up beside me and they're too busy updating their Facebook status to realize they've got a semi truck right over their left shoulder, and then at the last minute they're like, oh, I'm gonna get pushed, you know, they end up on the shoulder. Yes, they're notorious for no signal. They end up on the shoulder and then they come around by me flipping me off. Dude, you had a mile in front of me and a mile behind me to merge correctly. From I-80, I can't read all that. Catasibi, and I asked the truckers to help us, and the truckers said a little hard with a little, I can't read that. A little bird with a nest needs help to Fresno. Helped us, yeah. Cool. Yeah, I love it when, you know, you've got OG truckers, you know, the original, you know, real truckers, and then you've got truckers who do their best. You know, I'm only a 6-year driver, who try to learn from them and not act like these other new drivers. You know, I feel like I'm right in the middle. I am not an old-time trucker. I love it when those drivers do things like that. Cool, yeah. See, I love it when drivers do that. You know, one time I was watching, you guys know Bob. How many of you, raise your hand, know Bob from Cheap RV Living? I love Bob. Love Bob. And he was talking to this woman. She was probably, I want to say in her 60s maybe. And she was a solo RVing. She had one of those little teardrop trailers pulling behind a little tiny car. And she was talking about how safe she feels when she pulls into a big truck parking spot in a rest area, because she had truckers all around her. And my response was, you know, I love that she feels safe around those truck drivers, because my friend Kenny was just calling. I love that she feels confidence that, you know, that those drivers, you know, if they saw something odd happening around her rig, yes, they absolutely would have interfered. We're not afraid of confrontation. That's one of the first things that happened. When I started getting confident in driving, it's like, go ahead, confront me. Bring it. There's a lot that's happened in the last 6 years where I'm like, I am not afraid of confrontation. You know, like that verbal one yesterday morning with that idiot. But I also said, please suggest to her, Bob, that she does not take up a full trucker's parking spot. Yes, she should not be over on the car side. There are corners in the trucker's side that she would fit in without being in the way. You know, we could still observe if, you know, anything weird happened. Isn't that fun, Sue? Yes. You know, she could still feel safe. But imagine a driver driving 500 to 600 miles a day, pulling in, and oh, there's a spot. Oh, I'm going to pull it. Oh, nope, it's taken up by a little tiny teardrop pulled behind a Prius. We would not be happy about that, because they will fit in the corners, you know, easily. Just pull up alongside the curb in the corner in a way that, you know, a truck can still get around or through if they have to. You know, she can't technically park over on the car side. I've seen them do it. You know, they can find a little corner over there and park for the night. Put us between different oh, yep, they'll do that. They will do that. Absolutely. The ones who still use CBs. I do, but mine needs to go into the shop, so it's not in here. And it probably won't get into the shop until I get to Boise for the Yarny Social in October. So, yeah, there's that. Or I get this Salt Lake run. There's a Salt Lake run that they're trying to develop, and I would love that all summer long, man. I would love to go from Portland to Salt Lake. If I get that Salt Lake run, I might find time to pull into that Flying J in Boise and get my radio worked on. And it's like, you know, little tiny campers like that, I have pulled in, you know, I just need to pull in and go to the bathroom. I can't park along the curb in a lot of those rest areas. Albuquerque? Yeah, we can't park in in some places we can find a curb spot. You know, I need to pull into, you know, if it's the middle of the day, I need to use the little trucker's room. And it ticks me off to find some tiny little camper that could have pulled along the curb, could have parked in a corner, taken up a full-size 18-wheeler spot. That upsets me personally. If it's a bigger camper, you know, that's where they've got to park, and I get that. And as an RVer myself, you know, a big motorhome, you betcha. And some of those Class C's, but some of those little Class C's, they could park in a corner. Yep, there are some good drivers out there still. And I appreciate them. But then there's the super truckers who are like, you just camped out in that middle lane and I'm going to pass you on the right. Those guys are just jerks. I don't care how long they've been trucking. I know the protocol. I know to stay out of that. You know, if there's 3 lanes, I'm in the middle lane in a populated area to avoid dealing with all the mergers. If you want to pass me on the left like you're supposed to. Sweet pea. I'm not hanging out in the left lane. Here's this guy pulling FedEx. He's going to pass me. He passes me on the left. He doesn't get his, you know, what's in a twist because I was in the center lane. Now we're back down to 2 lanes. I flash, you know, my lights at him so that he knows he's got plenty of room. He can keep on trucking. And he's not angry with me because I'm doing 59 miles an hour. Yep, some pull triples. I'm endorsed to pull triples, but I never have. Oh, here comes an electric truck. The Frito-Lay trucks are electric. And he's pulling a 53-foot trailer. There he goes. And I don't care. You know, I don't, if they've got the technology and they think that they're making an imprint, you know, a less of a footprint, whatever, with their local deliveries, that's fine. But they can't do long haul like we are. I mean, to charge, and it's already taking a toll on the grid. And like this solar array down south where they've got all these charger stations, they're backed up by diesel generators in a shed. Okay, thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. We've only got about 20 minutes left and I'm going to end this live. Yeah, down there at, it's Harris Ranch, I think. There's some truck parking down there and they've got this whole, you know, solar, there's Market Express. See if he'll wave at me. Nope, he ignored me. That's Market Express for you. Yeah, down there at Harris Ranch, they have a shed full of big diesel generators to back up because solar power isn't reliable to charge for all those car charging stations. So, oh, okay. I'm glad you're enjoying it. So I don't feel like the whole electric vehicle technology has become the green alternative that that they want it to be. If they can make it, you know, a viable alternative, then great. You know, I don't care. I don't care as long as I can drive my miles, I can deliver loads, I can pull hills, I can pull a heavy load. I don't care. Even autonomous trucks, they still need somebody in the driver's seat, and I guarantee you I will be crocheting. I guarantee you I will be crocheting. As long as they can do the job, and they can do it without, you know, human rights violations or mining, you know, environmental costs, you know, bad environmental practices in the mining. And oh, please, no, knock on wood, Sue. So far, so good. So far, so good. And I tell you what, just because I've gone 6 years without hitting anybody or anything doesn't mean it can't happen. I knew a gal who was going across I-82, I believe. She was eastbound going through Sunnyside, Washington. And a man was driving his car, and he had a friend in the passenger seat. And for some reason, he started driving on the shoulder. He was on the other side of the white lane. So her being a well-trained, good driver, pulled her truck into the left lane to go past him, because that's what we're taught to do. And at the last second, he made a left-hand 90-degree turn across the right lane and right in front of her in the left lane and hit him. And she was trying to pull to the left. She ended up in that median area to the left, and she's just trying to shut down the truck. All the bells and whistles were going off in the truck because she was trying to keep it upright. And there was nothing she could do. She could not avoid hitting that guy, but she held that truck upright. She could have easily gone over. And that man died. The driver died. The passenger survived, going to the hospital, but he was killed instantly. And she had to go through all of that. And, you know, it must have been, he was fairly elderly. I never did read if it was, you know, some kind of, like a confusing episode for him. Was he having a stroke? What, you know, was he concerned? Did he think he was turning left at a stop sign? Was it, you know, I don't know those details. But I know that they immediately, they take a driver, you know, from the scene of the accident. You go straight to a hospital to do a drug test. Some kind of something, because he started driving on the shoulder and then he made a left-hand turn out on Interstate 82 in Sunnyside, Washington. So, yeah, I don't know all the details. I do know that she, you know, like we had her on the Life 360 app because she was on the phone with another friend of mine when it happened. It was very sad. Very sad. He was well known in the community. That guy, he had retired from a local, you know, employer, someplace he had worked for many, many years, and I don't know why he did that. But she did everything right. She saw this car start driving on the shoulder, so we are trained to immediately get into the left lane. So please don't just stop on the shoulder willy-nilly. You know, please only stop there if it is an emergency. go somewhere else to pull over. Because then you are disrupting traffic because everybody has to get into the left lane. So she did that, and then just at the last minute, he just made a sharp left-hand turn right in front of her. It was so sad. It was horrible. And here's what the little live newscaster says. He was driving along and changed lanes, and the truck just smashed right into that car, killing the driver. That's how that was reported. And that's why I have not watched the news. I have not been a regular watcher of the local news stations since I got back from Qatar with my husband. Yep. That's how it was reported, and that's how they put a twist on things. That's how they actually mislead everybody watching. So I don't like the news. I cannot stand news. I hate reporters. Oh, I cannot stand them. Ugh. Oh, that is bad. That would mess up. Yeah, that's an emergency. I'd be pulling over for that. Oh, that coffee is so good. So good. Ugh. We're coming into the San Joaquin County line. San Joaquin County. Ugh. Stockton is 23 miles away. I am 11 miles to the Flying J in Lodi. I wonder what he's hauling. Nothing in that trailer. Looks like a brand new trailer. It's a nice little stock trailer. Ugh. Okay. Oh boy, I'm ready for a break. We've been going for, let's see, 10 minutes, 6, 8. 3 hours and 11 minutes we've been on the road with no break. We are both ready for a break. I'll get fuel. It's not stinky yet. Was an Indian bar? Okay, I'll have to reread that stuff. I'll have to reread all that. I can't read those big paragraphs. Because the chat moves. And I can only glance. Okay. 8 miles. 8 miles and we'll be done. Oh my goodness. Short day today. Crochet day. Yep, we're ready. Both of us are ready for a trucker break. Then tomorrow morning we got to leave at 6. Even though we only have a few miles to go to deliver, I like getting there early. Early is on time is late. Into Albuquerque. Horrible trip. Oh. I miss going, you know, taking these 2,000-mile trips in the truck. I miss it. Hopefully my next job is not Western 11. This job isn't even Western 11. You know, it's Western 2. Oregon and Washington most of the time. Yeah. Good truckers are like that. Other ones are not. Niles is taking credit for that. He does that. He takes credit. Oh, my shoulder. I'm going to be doing a lot of stretches of my shoulder. Because now it hurts all around my shoulder and upper arm. Yep, he tries to take credit for everybody, for everything. Okay, almost to my exit. The dog is sound asleep. Sleepy puppy. Sleepy little puppy. He's a good boy. But he'll be ready. He will be ready. As soon as I get fuel, I'm parking and going for a victory walk. Yes, that would be great. If I can get out of California, for crying out loud. They're trying to develop a regular run in and out of Phoenix, and he really is. He really is. This relationship is developing really well. Well, and I think because we lived together. Julie and I lived with him and Pat for a couple of years. I think that's what has made it so successful so quickly. But I feel bad for him. I'm sure that he has dreams about Pat, because he does dream quite a bit. And I'm sure, you know, he hasn't forgotten her. He never will. From I-80? Oh, cool. Yes, we should do that. If I ever get over there. One of these days, I will actually quit this company and go with another one. I'm sure he dreams of her, because he spent like 8 years with her. So yeah, he was a year old when she got him. Road work ahead, right lane closed. I don't know, is that going to be before or after my exit? Before or after my off ramp? I'll just have to pay attention here. Oh, it's been a really good live. I've really enjoyed this. Some sad news, some kind of scary news. She's got a Robin's family member has had to rush to the hospital this morning, so waiting to hear how that turns out. Extended family, not the people she lives with, but extended family. So prayers for her family and what's going on with her. Yeah. So I'm sure it's going to be hours and hours before any news. Okay, this is Turner Road. This is the exit before I take the Lodi exit. And the side road, I could go up that side road, and I'll admit I've done it before, that agricultural, that road that goes up alongside I-5 and goes into Lodi and goes right there to the Flying J, but there's a weight limit. And I don't think it gets enforced, because I do see drivers taking that road. That's a non-truck road, basically. Oh, and there goes two of them. There goes one going south, or one going north, and then there's CRA England going south on it, heading into the, you know, I see people do it all the time. I did it by accident once, not realizing that's a non-truck road. That is not a truck route because of the weight limit. My best friend passed away 2 weeks ago, and oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You've had some deaths in your family. Not only is CR England illegal on that road, but they're speeding. I'm pretty sure the speed limit on that road is like 40 miles an hour. He's doing like 50, but oh well, you know, hope you don't get a ticket, dude. Good luck. Good luck. He hasn't done anything to affect me, that's for sure. Doesn't affect my day. When it does, then I'll complain. Previous best friend 3 years ago. Man, you've had a lot of deaths.
12, then take the first left.
Okay, you guys, when I hit the stop sign or the stoplight, I'm going to end the live, which is right up here in a few seconds. So I have really enjoyed talking to all of you today. Everybody keep Robin and her family member in your prayers. Rush to the hospital. Oh, I'm sorry about your dad too. So, but otherwise, it's been fun. We've talked about a lot of constructive stuff. Yarn order. I placed a yarn order with Robin this morning for some Cascade yarn, Nifty Cotton, and Anthem DK. I'm very excited to get my hands on those. Very excited for upcoming projects. This was fun. This was so fun. Lights green. Hello, dude. I don't have any money for you. I got water for you, but I don't have any money. It's a good place for him to stand, but I don't have anything to hand him. I don't have any cash, so I can't give him any money. If I had money in my wallet, I would give it to him. Anyway, I'm ending the live. You guys have a great day. I love you guys. Bye.